topics on the screen for sure. Now, good morning, good morning, good morning. I want to talk about the Gotti boy, whatever. Oh my gosh. And Slim Thick Kim and this whole drama. And I want to talk about the fact that black women, especially younger black women, older black women, we got a lot of work to do still. And, I think sometimes we get it twisted because there are so many women that are openly will say, like, they burning the cape or they not talking to black men no more, this, that, and the third, that we feel like that's the collective of black women. And every day I get proved wrong. I do not believe it is the collective of black women that have decided to put their cape down and stop mammying for black men. I don't believe it. I believe there are plenty of mammies for black men, plenty of black women willing to do whatever to get a black man's attention. And that's exactly the reason why they so unruly and act crazy and disrespect us and take us for granted now, because no matter what they do, no matter what they say, it's always a black woman or black girl, younger black woman, let's just say that, willing to degrade herself to get the attention of a black man, which is disgraceful. I'm telling you right now, me hearing about attractive girls, these girls are pretty girls, you know what I'm saying, willing to fly themselves out to meet a man so that he can get his rocks off and send them back home. That's insane. So you mean to tell me you gonna pay? You gonna pay to send yourself out so a man can use you up? Make that make sense. You getting a man's name tattooed on you that you don't even know for a month. He ain't your boyfriend. He ain't your husband. He ain't nobody. Not that you should do it anyway, but he ain't got your name tatted, but you going to get his name tattooed on your hand. What in the world is going on? What in the world is going on? Y'all don't know what these men got. If they got HPV, if they got the package, if they got bum bumps, you don't know nothing. But yet you sitting there telling a man that you got throat numbing spray. And you wanna do it to him real bad and eat him off the bone and swallow him up. Disgusting. Like, honestly, what in the desperation is going on? And then my thing is that I go there, see these girls, they're attractive. The one girl, the dark-skinned girl, you clearly got, your breast implants. You went to get your body done. You look very attractive. That's not a shady comment, but I don't understand the idea of going to invest in yourself only to let YNs play with you. Why are you investing in yourself and your body only to treat it like it is worthless? Like, what are we doing here? I don't understand it. And every day I realize that there are plenty of pick-me's still out here in this world. Because the fact that this man was able to come up on these TikTok streets and clearly look like a pookie, clearly look like a man that uses women, clearly look like an average, everyday, run-of-the-mill hood Negro. And he got, the last time I saw him, he had 72,000 followers. What? You mean to tell me that there are heifers out in this world so thirsty that you want to follow him? So what? You could be the next girl to fly yourself out and pay for your own hotel for the hopes that he might do something for you, not even for you, do something with you. Ew, 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 ew. You know what I'm saying? If a man wants you, if a man likes you, if a man thinks you're sexy or whatever y'all talking about, he would send for you. You would not have to pay for yourself. That is just so, like I said, insane. I just can't even imagine it. And I'm so disappointed. I can't even get the words out, y'all. I am so disappointed. I'm so disappointed in the black women that are willing to do this. And my thing is also, I'm disappointed in black women because there were so many black women protecting him, believing him, attacking the first girl that told the story. Why in 2025 are you as a black woman still believing or taking the word of a black man? Like as facts without having cold hard proof. Like, I'm not believing no man, okay, of any race without seeing cold, hard proof. I would never believe a man over a woman ever in my life. Like I said, unless I saw everything on video. Unless I saw everything on video. I would never, ever. Do y'all know how many men lie? Like, and this isn't just a black man thing. Do you know how many men in general of all races lie? But y'all on here giving this Pookie the benefit of the doubt? What? I just, bro. I just also want women to know that telling a man how good, Joe, you gonna top him off, telling him how good what's between your legs is, that is not going to get his respect. That is not going to make him like you. That is not going to make him want you. That is not going to make him, want to put you first. X will never get a man's respect. Ever. It will get you used. It will get you used, but it will not get you respected. I don't know if y'all ever heard about E. Kane. E. Kane said that she went over a group of boys, men, whatever house, and let them run a train on her and then had to catch the bus home. Nobody even cared to see if this girl got home safely. That should let you know that X will never get a man's respect. They will take what you were offering all day long and not care nothing about you. This is ridiculous. Like I said, I don't understand. It's insane. Let me see what you said, PG 1908. You said we don't have an issue not trusting white men. Black women worship everything black men say. PG 1908. Well, I see your point and I see your perspective. And I'm not saying that I totally disagree with you. But there are some women that now, because they're mad at black men, act like they trust white men and act like white men are our savior. I know that you're not like that, but I have seen it. But I do think, though, you're right that black women have a way bigger problem with worshiping everything that black men say. I do. So I don't think you told no lies. Let's see here. J Love, you said black women supporting white supremacy. Again, talking points. This is something black people don't need in this space. Okay, J Love, I would love to have you get in the box because I don't know what you're talking about. What did I say that supported whitey supremacy talking points? I'm flabbergasted. What exactly did I say? And I think that that's a problem too, is that oftentimes if you ever critique black men, all of a sudden you're supporting whitey supremacy. But you probably came in here and listened and commented in the chat because you heard me saying something about black women. And you was like, oh, wait a minute. She said black women need to be doing something. Let me listen in. Is she talking about black women? You ain't think that's supporting white supremacy. So why do you think that me talking about black men or critiquing them is encouraging white supremacy? That's what I mean. Y'all got to get real because y'all don't have no problems coming up here on the internet talking about black women all day, 24/7. What they do, what they shouldn't do, why they not submissive, why black women don't want to give you their whole check, why black women don't want to let you put their foot on your neck, and they're so masculine. You say this every day. And y'all don't never think that that is encouraging white tea supremacy. So get out of here with that, please. But I did send you a request if you're still in here because I would love to hear you clarify that because I'm confused. But anyway, as I was saying, the fact that there were so many black women that followed that boy, that followed him, and y'all in his comments talking about he looked good and all of this other stuff is so disgusting to me. Like, y'all saw that he clearly stood up another woman, another fellow female. Why would you ever in your life want to entertain a man like that? That makes no sense. The man got on a chain. He got on the snapback. He got on everything that's telling you what type of man he is offering. Why would you ever want to entertain a man like that? And it's crazy because it's so many, you know what I'm saying, like black women that still like Pookies and black men that are the bottom of the barrel. And then be surprised when those men treat them badly. Like the dark skinned girl is like, oh, I can't believe you lying. Oh, I can't believe you doing me like this. Then the light skinned girl was like, oh, I can't believe he played in my face like that. Why not? You can tell he gonna play in your face. You can tell he's the type of man that's exactly gonna do exactly what he did. I don't understand it. Like, you didn't know? You didn't know he was gonna play in your face? You didn't know that he was probably gonna have a whole bunch of different girls? You didn't know he looks exactly like the type of man to do that? What about him gave different? What about him gave oh, I'm just a college boy. I'm just a nice innocent boy that's as just or young man that's just trying to find a wife. What about that man gave that? Huh? Nothing? Oh, okay. Go ahead, Rave.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I've been watching your content for a little bit now. You popped up in my suggested on YouTube, and I've had the pleasure of listening to your commentary for the last couple of weeks. It's been passing the time while I've been making food.
Oh, thank you.
You are hilarious. So I saw the girl story first, the dark skin girl story about the whole flued out situation. And I guess my whole thing is that I'm just not sure why even tell the story. Like it's not a story that's like, oh, I got flued out and then things didn't work out. Like it's like why tell a story on a platform where another that person's on the same platform and you both know the truth. It seems just more clout focused. Like she just wanted attention and this guy has clout. But I think it's more of a cautionary tale that you should never like a man more than he likes you. And just being desperate, it shows it a man can see another woman who's desperate for him. And that's just it's not a turn on. And I'm not surprised that happened to her. If you fly yourself out somewhere, it just reminds me of this scene of Sex and the City when Big was going to Paris and he didn't ask Carrie to go and she just volunteered herself to go. And he said to her, I just hope you don't have any expectations because he didn't want her to go in the first place. Like, if he really wanted you to go, he would have, paid for a ticket. So that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with you for sure. I do, and I think that forcing the issue and pressing yourself on a man is always going to result in disrespect because if he, like you said, if he wanted you to go, he would have asked you to come. And in my opinion, in this situation, if he wanted to see you badly, he would have flew you out. I mean, he already knew that you didn't told him a million different ways you're going to give up the draws. So he had no reason to feel like he was going to waste his money on, like a trip for you and not get what he wanted at the end of the day. So it's like that should have let you know right there if you are offering everything up on a silver platter and he's still not willing to fly you out and he's acting like it's not that serious, that should have automatically made you feel disgusted to where and embarrassed, doggone it. Embarrassed to be like, you know what? Let me get it together.
Exactly. Like I had a guy who I previously dated who drove all the way from Arkansas to Florida to come see me just for a weekend. So if he wanted to, he would. And the only reason he drove is so we could take his car and like go sightseeing.
Exactly. I mean, I think that there you have it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I every time people get on this, like, since I've been doing like this whole social media thing, a lot of times black men will come in and they'll say like, oh, black women, they're all, masculine and mean and angry and they don't do anything for us anymore and they don't care about us and they don't. I knew that it was a lie. There are so many black women that are still out there that worship black men, that are pick that will do anything and everything just to get the simple attention and validation from a black man. And not even a good one either. Just the lowest bottom of the barrel black man that you can find. I know they lied. And I from now on am going to stop living in the echo chamber that I have in my mind of strong, empowered black women that do not allow themselves to be treated like this. I got to make more videos on how women can stop freaking being pick because this is insane. And the fact, like you said, that she went to the internet and told this story, that's crazy in itself. This should have been in her archives of humiliation that nobody could have waterboarded out of her. That she should have never
Exactly.
told nobody.
Exactly. And another thing that I think I've been seeing a lot lately is like, I'm not sure what to categorize it as, whether it's like sympathy core or like just like sympathy content. Like, especially when like, holidays like Valentine's Day roll around. Like, I'll see women like post like, a sad video, like, oh my gosh, I got nothing. I've been with him for 7 years and he still got me absolutely nothing. And it's like, what do you want us to do about that? Like, it doesn't even make me like sad. It makes me like annoyed and angry. Like, because I feel like those, like, they just want attention because they're not getting it from their significant other. And I feel like there's so many resources and tools we have to understand if you are in an abusive relationship or if you are in a relationship where something's not serving you. So it's like, at what point do we hold ourselves accountable as women and like, realize if somebody doesn't love you enough to get you a $5 box of candy and a $1 teddy bear, you could literally go to the dollar store and get somebody a dollar teddy bear, then they don't see value in you. And I don't know, I've just been seeing a pattern of a lot of women who want sympathy because they're not making the right decisions in picking the right men. And I just can't help but not feel sorry for them.
I mean, I totally understand what you're saying. I think that I'm of the thinking that, everybody, a man has one time, to play in your face. One. Now, that first time, you may okie doke you know what I'm saying? You may be like, whoa, what's this or whatever. But anything you choose to go along with after that is really on you, baby. After the cheating, any of it, like it disrespect, after that, it's on you. And I saw the story of the lady that had been with the man for 3 years and she was complaining that he ain't get her nothing and all this other stuff and he don't ever get her nothing. Like, baby girl, that's your fault. You the one that is allowing that. She even made another video where she said that she knew she was settling. And she gonna keep on settling until she don't want to settle no more. Because he contributes to the household. Like, what? She didn't even say he paid the rent or anything. She said he contributes, which was given to me, light bill. Oh, that he paid a light bill or something like that. So, like I said, I don't, for the life of me, I don't understand, girl, what's going on. But I just know when I saw this whole story being like played out with the Slim Thick Kim and Naya and Gotti Boy or whatever, I was just like, I've been bamboozled. I've been lied to because there are a lot of pick me's, bro. A lot of pick me's, bro. A lot. And I think now I'm starting to think that it's more of a 50-50 split. It's more of a 50-50 split. Like 50% of black women that say, I'm going to take the cape off. I'm going to respect myself. I'm not going to let men play with me. If, even if they have a man, they're not playing games like that. They let him know that they got clear boundaries in place. And I think the other 50% is out here looking wild of black women, I now have to change my mind about the percentages. Now I think it's 50-50.
Definitely. I do think it's 50-50, only because I was watching one of your videos, or at least listening, and you were talking about how, young girls are looking up to Krishan, when they have no business looking up to someone like Krishan. So I think the 50-50 is like the one half, which is like women of, I'm about to be 29 in a month. So I feel like it's women who maybe are my age and like maybe like a little bit older, or like 20, I would say probably like 25 to 35. I feel like that sector of women, or at least like my algorithm, is a lot of women who are either decentering men, who are really focusing on themselves, or if they do have a partner, they still have a platform such as yourself, where they're just spreading awareness on the red flags of what to look for and not to look for in these said men. Specifically, like obviously we're in the black community, so we're talking to our black sisters. And then you have the other half of black women who are still really young and influenced, and they're watching things like Baddies, and they're watching girls like Jada Wada and Ari, and they think that the way to be like successful like in our community is to like marry a rich rapper and then use that to like have their own platform, when there's plenty of other things you can do to be affluent. I think that culture has really, really taken a toll on like the younger generation. Like I live in South Florida and I didn't grow up here, but like seeing how some of these kids have like designer on when they go out, like even if you look at their proms, like they're going in like Bugattis or like Range Rovers. Like I feel like there's just like a huge culture like shock, where a lot of the kids that are seeing things in the media, like they want to replicate it to the T. And like a lot of girls, they like the black influencers that we have are Ari and Jada, whether people like them or not, or where people think they're a good role model or not. I know young black girls who want to be like Jada and like want to be like Ari, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I definitely agree with you for sure. I noticed anytime I would ever try to like have like live streams about Krishan, I would be bombarded with a whole bunch of girls that seem to be probably in that age category that you mentioned, defending her and rationalizing away her behavior and all of that. But the unfortunate thing is, now I can't verify this or anything, but I seen several videos where they said that the girl that's in this situation, a dark skinned girl that's in the situation that we were talking about, the Gotti boy thing, that she's 31. Now, I feel like she looks really good, but she's deeply melanated. So a lot of times, when the more deeply you're melanated, the younger you look for the longest. You know what I mean? So she could be 31 because but that's what I heard. And if she is indeed 31, that's even more disgraceful. That's even more disgraceful. Like the fact that you would hit your 30s and be this thirsty and desperate and goofy is insane to me. And just like Elise said here, she has kids, and she had mentioned having a daughter. And it's like, do you understand that the example that you set for your daughter is the one that she will follow when she gets older? Like you were teaching her how to let men treat her when she gets to be of age. So you want your daughter to be thirsty? You want your daughter to be out here telling random Negroes that she's only known for a week, that she got throat numbing spray and breath mints and she about to eat them off the bone, and he don't even know her from a can of paint? I bet you she ain't even know his middle name. I bet you he ain't know her middle name. I bet you he ain't even know her exact birthday. But you over here talking about you finna get on your knees. Like, make it make sense. Like, and I really do feel like that is like, it's so terrible, but because of society, the way we have got it right now, that people are just acting like it's not a big deal. It is absolutely a huge deal. Black women are already sexualized and degraded and told that we're worth nothing but for what we can do for a man. Whether it's mammying, whether it's being his mule, whether it's going 50-50 with him or paying all the bills or just being an incubator. Like, why would you as a black woman want to knowingly push those harmful narratives and stereotypes? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me, like
It
at
doesn't.
all.
So I am seeing somebody says she's 31 with 3 kids, allegedly. If that is the case, Pretty disgraceful, but not surprising because the same thing with, Leangelo Ball's new side chick that he's just parading around. I'm not sure how many kids she has, but I know she has multiple as well, and I know that she was a mistress to another man in the NFL who was also married. So a lot of these women have patterns, like they're chasing a goal. They're going to be jersey chasers until they're 40 years old. There is a sector of women who are in my age group, unfortunately, that still have that, mammy, just young, just still wanting to be like young and turnt, but not realizing and reading the room. Like you have 3 kids and you want to use money and take money out of your kids' pockets to go see a random guy from the internet. Like a lot of people don't use logic and they're so desperate for something. They're just so desperate to be seen, to be noticed by, social media. A lot of this has to do with social media because people see how other people are living and they want to live just like them. And as Black women, we need to just do better with our discernment because he didn't pay for your ticket, number one. Number two, I don't even know how to pronounce his Instagram tag. Sorry, I don't even know how to pronounce his Instagram tag. So I know that there's no real no intellectualness going on there. So it's
Yeah.
like you guys didn't come to talk. I don't know. It's just weird. Society is very, very strange right now. And I feel like as Black women, it's best that we do our due diligence to not fall into those traps. Like let the white tea women like Alabama and Bad Baby, let those little girls embarrass themselves over these ain't shit Negroes.
Yeah, I mean that's how I feel. I feel like all of the YNs, all of the hood booger men, all of them should be just taken over by the white tea women and the non-black women that want to cosplay. Like I don't understand why we as a collective don't stand back and let that go on. I just don't know. But I think that the brainwashing that has occurred in black women, due to like rap and hip hop culture, which in my opinion is successfully brainwashed a lot of black women to connect masculinity with bad behavior, with criminality, with walking, talking, acting like a thug. And that's why a lot of women are attracted to men that dress like they're on a 2000s hip hop video, because that's exactly how this dude was dressed. Like, and I don't even understand how that's even attractive to any woman, really. And, I know that I am older than the demographic of girls that are really going for that dude. But even when I was that age, even when I was in my 20s, like, I would have never been looking at somebody like him. Ew. Like, and I just, yeah, it's just disrespectful. And even if we want to talk about it just on a simple level, flying your and not look at it deeply, flying yourself out to meet a man that you do not know is not safe. It is not safe for you to do as a woman. Black women are the most ex-trafficked demographic here in the United States. Black women are the most unalived race of women. Black women are the most raped race of women. So why would you take your goofy behind on a flight to meet up with a man that you do not know? You think just because you gave it up to him that that's some type, or that you would be willing to give it up to him, that that's some type of protection? It's not. Because he'll take that from you, and then maybe possibly he could take your life. Or he could take that from you and turn around and, put something in your drink and then offer your body up to his friends. Or sell you off to somebody. And then what? Now you looking stupid. Now you in a situation that you can't get out of because you being desperate and thirsty and trying to be, in my opinion, respectfully, a thought. Like, because what are you doing? Where's your self-esteem at? And when I made a video about this, it's just like I said in the video, for anybody that could be listening to this when I upload this to YouTube, where's your Amazon membership at? Really? Do you need D that bad? I know that you don't. Because the majority of women are not, statistically, the majority of women are not having, climaxes, trying to find a nice way to say, with men in general. They're not. And you add to the fact that you're engaging the first time with some dude that doesn't know you, doesn't know your body. So exactly then, and you're not, you more than likely you probably won't climax from that either. So what exactly are you doing it for? What are you doing it for? You're not even getting an orgasm out of the deal. So what are you doing it for? Are you that desperate just to get a man's attention for 2 seconds, for 2 minutes? Like, why are you not going to Amazon and getting the rose? Where's your Amazon Prime membership? Huh? Like, what are we talking about?
Honestly, and to add to that, like social media doesn't translate into real life. The way people act on social media, the way that like you think that they are is not real. Coming from someone personally who not has met any men, but has like, tried to collaborate with, other food influencers or just meeting people in real life that I've seen online, it's two completely different things. You know what I mean? It's just not the same. Their personalities can be different. The way they act towards you might be different. They might act like they're better than you. So who's to say what he would have been thinking who he was? You know what I mean? Like, who's to say that because he feels so powerful that he couldn't do something to inflict pain on you? Just like you said, it's just a risk all in all. Like you don't, like, I haven't even flown out the country with my boyfriend yet, and we've been together for for a year now, and that's my boyfriend, someone who like I'm in love with. We haven't even taken a trip, so why would you willfully take a trip out of state to see somebody you literally don't know? Like, that's just insane to me. Like, you really have to get to know people before intimacy. And that's another thing I wish a lot of Black women would focus on, like just understanding their bodies and loving themselves before they let somebody else love them. I'm not sure if colorism plays a part in it, but I find a lot of Black women who have been or are sexually promiscuous, it it falls into the pick me category because they see somebody that wants them, even if it's just sexually, and that makes them feel pretty, or it makes them feel beautiful. And I just want Black women to know that they don't need to seek validation through men. Like, you don't need to feel beautiful or think that you're worthy just because a man wants to sleep with you. We've seen it in the news. We've seen it everywhere. Men will literally sleep with anyone and anything. It's disgusting. So don't sell yourself short. You don't need to be a pick me. You don't need to be desperate for any man's attention. Whoever loves you is going to come to you. And that passion, that intimacy that we all crave, that you really want, it will happen naturally, and it will be a better experience rather than just sleeping with somebody that you just think looks good, that knows nothing about you, what you like, what you don't like. It's just the rush to have and be physical with someone to show that you could quote unquote take care of them. I feel like that's something in the Black community. It's just gross to me. Like, oh, like that's the way you please a man. Like, we're always talking about the way to a man's heart is through his stomach, and you got to work it through the bedroom. And you see all these videos that are like going viral right now about how to talk a man through it. And it's like, when have we lost the plot? Like, when has everything become about men, 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 men? Like, I have a boyfriend and it's sickening. I don't want to talk about men all day. You know what I mean?
Yes, I definitely know exactly what you mean. I I think that Black women, and I for the life of me, I don't think that this programming goes in reverse, because you can see the difference in the way Black men treat a Black women versus Black women, how they treat Black men. But Black women have this culture of, they have been really essentially brainwashed to center Black men above all else, to be considerate of their feelings, to be willing to be used, that simply having a Black man in your presence is worth everything in the world, even if he is not contributing anything. He ain't got to be paying the rent. He don't got to pour into you. He don't got to treat you nice. All you got to do is just simply be in the presence of a Black man, and that is enough for you, or it should be enough for you as a Black woman to feel like somebody. And that, honestly, that amount of worship is I thought that it was disappearing. I thought that it was not instilled in the girls that are like 18 to 25, but I see I was wrong. It is there with them too. So I don't think that it's something that we can easily erase out of the psyche of, the black woman. I just think that we just got to do better. Because I know I have two daughters and they already know. Like, I'm married to a black man, but I've already let them know that centering black men, um, is foolish. The only thing that you should ever do is, if you are interested in a man, is to wait until he is well and good, poured into you and done a million things for you. And you know that for you to attempt to even give him a candy corn size of pouring into because I just know, because this stuff is mad embarrassing. And I just, oh my gosh, it's just so it's so embarrassing, honestly. And I'm just tired I'm tired of seeing it.
No, I mean, I definitely decentered, you know, um, BM men a long time ago. Not like for my own personal reasons. And it's actually funny because the last BM that I actually seriously dated, something a bit similar happened, but I stood on business. I'll just tell the story super quickly. I was dating this guy. I had met him like at an event. He lives in Texas, and I live in Florida, and we had like really, really hit it off at said event. I was 24 at the time, and this man was probably in his like mid 30s. So probably I would want to say like 33, 34. So, probably 2 weeks after this event, he was talking about how he really, really wanted to see me and that he was going to book a flight to come see me. And I was like, oh, awesome, great. So he books a flight to come see me for a week. Now, for the weeks leading up to him supposed to be coming, the communication is super off. Mind you, this man lives in Texas. I'm sorry, cut out.
Oh,
This
it's
man,
okay.
this man lives in Texas. I live in Florida, so obviously we need to communicate more than the average because we don't see each other on the everyday. But his communication is off. He just seems like he doesn't really want to talk. So I'm starting to get anxious, and I'm talking to my friend, and I'm like, "Hey, like I think that I'm going to tell this man not to come." Cause I just had I had a bad feeling about the whole situation. Like, you can't say that you're going to go visit somebody and then not make an effort to make plans with them when you're going to go see them for a week. Just doesn't make any sense. But long story short, when I had brought up to him that maybe he should get his own place to stay, that he should, like maybe not stay with me because we barely had talked, he showed me who he really was and was just extremely nasty and rude, saying that that was an extra expense that he couldn't afford, saying that, like, he's just going to cancel the whole trip because this isn't even a vacation for him. Very strange behavior. So I definitely decided to part ways with him, and I don't feel bad and I don't regret it because I probably would have ended up like that girl.
Yeah, I think he was definitely a Dusty in disguise girl. For sure. That's what it seemed like for me. And that's what I say in my videos all the time. A lot of times your intuition will tell you, your gut will tell you, what you should and shouldn't do. It's just that a lot of times women, unfortunately, just ignore it. They'll just be like, "Oh, yeah, I know I feel weird about this. I know I feel like I shouldn't, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it."
Exactly. And one thing that stuck out to me when we were having this conversation on the phone was he was saying things like, I'm on the phone all the time for work. So after I'm off the phone, I don't want to talk to anybody. Then he was saying things like, oh, you have a roommate and I have to pay a mortgage. Our bills are different. And it was just things that like had nothing to do with the conversation, just like deflecting from the fact that I just simply asked him if he could get his own hotel, which just showed me the type of experience that would have occurred if I were to go travel to see him, which is goes back to the point of you shouldn't be like having anyone fly to you or you fly to them when you barely even know them. Because even though I did meet him in person, it was only for a short period of time. And that girl's gonna fly out to meet someone she's never met at all. So in order to avoid any type of weird experience, just don't do it. And I'm glad that I listened to my gut and I didn't let him gaslight me. And I left him right where he's at. And he still tries to blow me up to this day. And he just gets nothing but no, he gets nothing. Like, I would never talk to him or engage with him ever again. But that's just more of the story, to just really go with your instinct, ladies. And if it doesn't feel right, don't do it.
Definitely agree with you. All right, let me go down here to MHB. Go ahead, MHB. Let me send you a request. Oh, there. Yeah, go ahead, sis.
No, I just wanted to say something that I had already said in the comments, uh, which is that I think black women, the reason why we have to do so much work is because black women have to understand what it means to focus on ourselves, because we've been programmed for so long to give out to the community, to give out to our families, that we really don't have any real sense of self and what that means. And maybe we need to work on the strategies to understand what it means to work on ourselves, to be by ourselves, and to understand ourselves.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, you could you say that last part one more time, MHB? I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I? Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was just a TV. I zoned out and started listening to the back. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying that we have to learn how to be by ourselves and to understand ourselves. You know how to be by ourselves, to understand, have a self of self, so that we know how to put ourselves forward. Because I don't think black women have a true understanding of how to do that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, I got you. I mean, I definitely agree with you. I think that black women should always prioritize themselves, and I think that that's something that we are not told to do. We are told to prioritize, black men instead. And there'll be a million black men that will tell you that this is not true, but I think that is very evident in the way that black men move in the world collectively versus the way that black women move in the world collectively. And also just like stats and things that happen, to us versus them, that it's very clearly obvious that that's exactly what goes on, that they are definitely, you know, prioritized and put in front and coddled, and black women just kind of put all of the things that they're looking for to the side, and
Yes.
and allow black men to just basically give them the bare minimum.
Yes. Yes. But we also need to have skills, because the YT women have experience. Like their parents tell them how to put themselves first. I think in the black community, even if there's no man involved, we always have to put something else ahead of ourselves. Through our life, the community, the church. There's always something that we are taught to give before ourselves. Give to before ourselves.
Yeah, yes. What's your name? Caleb. I would love for you to get in this live box and actually say it with your chest, because when you say that black women have been prioritizing themselves since the 60s, you have literally no factual evidence to support that. But I tell you what, there is plenty of factual evidence to support that black men were supporting themselves, abandoning their families, not taking care of their families, trying to spend all their time and effort into pursuing non-black women because they had been successfully buck broken and conquered by YT supremacy. I just also committing violent acts, abusive acts against the women and children in their communities. Like, all of these things are documented. So it's like y'all say these things, but it's not true. You know what I'm saying? And I would love for you to tell me something factual where you could prove your point. You know what I'm saying? But I know that you won't be able to do that because it's a lie. And my thing is that you probably wasn't even alive in the 60s, but yet you're saying this, which is so stupid. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because, like, you can literally look at things that show what type of time black men were on. Like, there are literally Jet magazines from the 50s and the 60s, and I have screenshots of them in my phone, of black men saying the same BS that they say now, completely conquered and buck broken. Like, is the Asian woman the new black woman? Is a whitey woman the better choice for the black man? And y'all got pictures of y'all with other races of women on Jet magazine. Now, it wasn't no black women on these magazines, so-called black magazines with other races of men, because black women were too busy still trying to beg you to choose them. So it's like, please stop the games. Stop it. There's way too much evidence to prove the point that what you're saying is not true. You know what I mean? And it's like crazy because it's very few of our supposed black icons that are men that didn't have some type of relationship or engagements with non-black women that they were putting on a pedestal. Like when people talk about, like, I don't know if anybody knows old actors like Sidney Poitier, James Earl Jones, what's his name, Harry Belafonte, all of these men, known white tea women chasers, was telling black women, hey, your black behind is not good enough for me. Eartha Kitt said that. So it's like, and she was biracial. Just so y'all know, they told Eartha Kitt, who was a biracial woman, that she was too black. So it's like, what are y'all really talking about? Please stop. Please speak with education. Don't come in here just pulling stuff out of the crack of your butt. But that's what y'all do all the time. Because y'all don't think it's insane for black men to tell a half white woman that she herself is too black and she can't do nothing for a black man? Because that is certainly what was told to Eartha Kitt. So, like, please get out of here. And then, when you think about that, those were black men that were experiencing peak racism, top tier racism. Now, I'm not saying that we don't experience racism now as black people. You know that we do. We still experience horrific things. But back then, white people were able to straight jump off the front porch and just get right in your face and say something crazy. And you would feel like you couldn't punch them in the face or something like that. You know what I mean? And these men still wanted to be with those type of people. So get real, get real. Let me see what Saleb is saying in the comments. He says, why are you worried about black men that don't like black women? See, and you see what I'm saying, how you just switch gears? That's exactly what I'm talking about. You just switch gears because you was up in here lying. And now you talking to somebody that knows the truth. So now you want to switch it up and say, oh, why you focus on black men and don't like black women? A lot of black men are conquered. A lot of black men are buck broken. A lot of black men will come in lives and try to make it like it was the black woman's fault when it wasn't, just like you did. You don't even like black women. So what are you talking about? Why focus on the black men that don't like black women? Why would you know how many they are? You're one of them. You're one of them. Like what? Like what? That doesn't make any sense. Y'all are so weird. Y'all are so weird. Like it just doesn't make any sense. You just attempted to degrade black women right here in this live, sir. To degrade black women right here in this live, sir. You know what I'm saying? And then you attempted to degrade black women with wrong information. With wrong information. Make that make sense. Like, for real, the only person talking out their butt is you. You are clearly uneducated. I sent you a request, and I promise you, you got 30 seconds to get in this box and say it with your chest. And we can have a debate, and I guarantee you that you lose. You got 30 seconds I'm going to give you, and then I'm going to block you. Because I don't talk to people that want to lie and be disingenuous. Like, you say something, and you make it like it's fact, tell me how it's fact. Because I can tell you how you wrong, for sure. You know what I'm saying? Just like you can look at how black women vote versus how y'all vote. And that should let y'all know that y'all have a way bigger problem than we do. Yeah. Anyway, this guy said, I love all my black females. First of all, it's not females, it's black women. That's number one. So you already lost. And you love your black females that are feminine. A black woman is feminine, period, by the simple fact that she's a woman. And so you already lost again. Everything you said is stupid. Anyway, like I said, I'm gonna give this guy another 10 seconds and I'm about to block him. So let me do a countdown. 10, 9, 8. You got 8 seconds to get in this box. Caleb, dinner time, which is such a stupid name. Anyway, let me restart it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Oh, you said bye. Cool. I'm gonna block you now. Then I don't even got a countdown. See you later, Dusty. Go back to the dusty world that you came from. Bye bye. All right, he's blocked. He gone. Like ain't nobody about to play with him. Like for real.
What's interesting about like the men who come into your lives and whether they come up in the box or not, or they're, saying what they're saying, like in the comment box, is that it's always a deflection and not a reflection. Like it's always about us and not about them. Like they're mad at us, like you're saying these facts like you want them to be true. Like it's just history, and a simple Google search, like you say multiple times, can easily be done to fact check what you're saying. So it's like instead of just trying to be mad at us, why don't you be mad at your oppressors, and why don't you be mad at your ancestors, because they set it up for you to be so weak and so easily manipulated that you would turn against your own kind.
I mean, I definitely agree with you. It's like it's really ridiculous, and I think a lot of black men truly have a problem with being held accountable for anything, and I really do think it is strictly because of the culture of coddling that black women do. The fact of black women uplifting bums that don't deserve nothing. And like I said, this whole story of this girl, the dark skinned girl, the light skinned girl that is over there letting this no good Negro do whatever he wants to them, girl getting a tattoo of a man she ain't even known 30 days. Embarrassing. I think that all that does is just reinforce the idea that they don't got to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? They don't gotta be anything. They all they gotta do is just bring their black skin to the table, and a black woman gonna say, "Oh, I love that. I love my dark skinned brothers. I love my light skinned brothers. I love my brown skinned brothers. Here we go." And that is so disappointing to me because black women show a love for black men simply because they are black that black men never ever return. You never hear black men as a whole or as a collective saying, "Oh, I just love my sisters because they black. It ain't nothing like a black woman." You know what I mean? I couldn't dare do that because I got to be with my black women. Like you don't very rarely hear that. You hear, "Oh, I love all women. Oh, I this and that. Oh, I'm equal opportunity. This, that, and the third." But black women just they constantly pour into a group that is not pouring into them. And I think it's embarrassing. Like I really do. I think it's extremely embarrassing, and I I just it's I don't know. I don't know. Danny, I would like to add you in because I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah. And Treasy to Greasy, I also sent you a request too. Because, I would love for y'all to debunk me, and y'all never will, because the things that I say are completely accurate and true. But y'all really just getting y'all feelings about the truth, and I don't know why. Black men statistically date out the most. They also date out without marrying interracially the most as well. So it's like when I say these things, why do y'all act like it's not true? You know what I mean? It is absolutely true. Nothing that I said has been a my feelings. It's been absolute fact. And it's easy to go to Google with your phone that everybody's got a phone. I know it costs more than a stack, everybody's phone that's in your hand right now. So you have an expensive piece of machinery that can literally probably answer 99.999% of the questions that you have about this topic. Go ahead, Danny, because you said that I asked one of them and I didn't know what you were talking about. Let me send your request. Yeah, go ahead.
First of all, thank you to the host for allowing me to come up.
No
Shout
problem.
out to the panel. Shout out to the panel. I think trying to see which comment you responded to. Oh, when I said, really, did you ask one? Is anytime I hear the expression what black men say or black men don't say or do, my initial response is, did you ask one? That's what I was referring to.
Ask one about what though? I still think I might be confused.
That's all right. but in regards to any expression about what we say and do.
I mean, I definitely have. As plenty. I think we're talking about like the idea of like black men maybe um choosing white tea women um because of something that's broken inside of them, or choosing them because they perceive them to be, easier to deal with or easier to get on, over on, or thinking they're not going to require or expect more of you as a black man. So that's the reason why you would like to entertain other races of women. I've asked plenty of black men that question. And there's not been a single black man that, and I knew that I was talking to, we're having a real conversation, he was being honest, that hasn't said exactly that that's exactly why those women are being chosen. Because they are want to use those women or take advantage of those women. So, I mean, any of the questions that I've had, I've definitely asked. And I've asked black men that I wasn't trying to talk to, they weren't trying to talk to me. That way I could make sure that I could get an accurate, and real, response from them. So absolutely, I have. Now I can't speak for nobody else, but I have for sure.
So in short, based on what these gentlemen told you, their preference is other because they're easier to take advantage of.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Have you ever heard a black man say that he's with a non-black woman because she's easier? She do what he say, and or she let him do what he want. You haven't heard that before as a black man. You've never heard that.
Yes, ma'am, I have heard that.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to make sure that you was gonna be honest and say that,
But
because
there, but
it's
that
impossible
it's
to
not
be a black
about
person and not
oh,
hear that.
but the context in which what you're speaking is not the context that was translated to us.
What do you mean? What context? What context are you talking about?
So when we used to, well, I can only go by what I'm familiar with. So I'm not trying to negate the testimonies from the gentlemen that share their experiences with you, but the context of easy just means confrontational, agreeable, easy to
Yeah,
get
that
along with.
okay. I would definitely beg to differ, because white tea women are definitely confrontational.
But you're not a man.
Black men complain about being profiled by Karens, disrespected by
But you're
Karens.
not a
Um,
but you're not a man, man.
I'm not a man, but I definitely have seen black men complain. These men that you're talking about complain about the exact same experiences with white tea women, except it isn't marketed as confrontational when it comes from somebody that doesn't have black skin. So that's my thing, is that white tea women are definitely confrontational. They are definitely disagreeable. If you talk to any white man that has problems or they date within their community, you won't hear this type of rhetoric going on. You will hear them speak on that. But for some reason, black men have been so conquered and buck broken to the point that they actually believe the bull that they say. And my thing is this, is that if these women were indeed agreeable and all of these things that you mentioned, then why is it that your relationships with them fail even more than the relationships that fail with so-called disagreeable black women? It doesn't make any sense. Why are white women the largest group of single mothers, and 92% of white tea women that have babies with black men that they're single mothers? I can't understand why these women are being left alone with these babies if they're so agreeable. It doesn't make sense to me at all. And the idea that black men, who are statistically not only the most violent to their race of women, which is the black woman, and the most violent to each other, and put their women in the dirt the most. Black women make up 10% of the population, yet 59 to 60% of all unalivings in the United States. That, and 99% of the time, when they're being unalived, it's by a black man. I have no idea how men that have those type of statistics surrounding them could ever dare say, mention somebody being agreeable or easy to get along with. I think that the most disagreeable would be somebody that would kill you and put you in the dirt and take your life. So or take the life of somebody that looks like you, a fellow black man. So this whole idea that black men are so soft and calm and meek and mild, and they're just looking for somebody to match their fly, the math ain't mathing. The math ain't mathing statistically. And I like to stick with things that we can actually prove. All of these things are actually can be proven. Because a lot of times, when you say these things to black men, they'll be like, well, black women do it
Woo.
too. Black women don't do it too when it comes to putting y'all in the dirt. They don't. Black women very rarely unalive people. They do it, but it's very low. So
Excuse me.
explain that.
First of all, take a breath.
Okay,
And
second of
I'm
all,
and I
no. You tried it. You tried it. You don't tell me to take a breath on my own page as you sit there and talk slow like a sloth from Zootopia. Like, I don't know what you thought, but that's your strike one, and you only have one strike with me. So watch your mouth. You say anything else, you're simply gone. Cause I don't know what you
anything
thought.
else?
Okay.
Anything else?
All right. Yeah, I got one more thing for you. Okay, Danny?
Yep.
Bye. See you later. I just told you have one shot and one shot with me. I'm not your mama. I'm not your baby mama. I'm not the white girl of your dreams. I don't play like that. I don't play like that. You got one time and one time only to disrespect me, and that's it. Sorry. That's what it is. And Treasy, too greasy. You're too much of a coward to even get in this live talking about I'm mad. You know what? I could never let a Dusty make me mad, but that was annoying because you not gonna disrespect me on my platform. And let me just go ahead and block you because you too much of a coward to even get in the box. Bye. See you. I'm gonna go ahead and block you off top. Anyway, as I was saying, and I think that Danny, the guy that was up here that talked like, you know what I'm saying, like his brain was like too slow to catch up with the words that was coming out of his mouth. I think that when they cannot say or they cannot debate what you're saying, then they start trying to make you mad, or then they start trying to attack the things that you're saying. Danny, you said black women are showing why they're not chosen. Danny, I'm married, Danny. I've been married for 15 years, Danny, to a black man. I bet you don't have nobody though. I bet you by yourself. I bet you not chosen. And that's my thing is that black men stay not being chosen. The least married race of man, the least chosen man, the man that is looked down the most in society. But you want to talk about somebody not being chosen. Who's choosing you? Other than to fetishize you and then drop you right back off in the hood where they got you from. Huh? Oh, okay. So please stop it. Stop it, Danny. Don't do that. This is not what you want. Okay. Let me just keep going forward because like I said, it's anytime they cannot debate what you're saying, they always try to attack you and say like, oh, well, you don't have a man. And I promise you, like 99% of the time, the men that say that to you, they don't have a woman. They don't have a woman, they don't have a wife, they don't have anybody. And it's so crazy because they always feel like it's not that bad for them to be a man and be alone and be at the house ejaculating into a sock. But for some reason, if you're a woman and you're single, it's the end of the world. Well, if it's the end of the world for a woman to be single, what you think it is for you to be single? Seeing as though black men are supposedly the most desired man in the world. If you're the most desired man, why you ain't got nobody? Ask yourself that and then go brush your teeth. You should be embarrassed by that. Like, honestly. But I'm gonna block you, Danny, because if you can't stay in the hold on, let me see who this Hello Beautiful is. Cause Danny seemed to send you a heart. Oh, okay, I see it. All right. Let me find Danny and block Danny. Bye-bye. You're gone. I'm gonna block you right now. Have a good day. See you. You're not gonna if I drop you, you're not gonna be in my comments talking. All right? Yeah. Okay, go ahead, Navy. You can go ahead, Navy. Let me send you a request to turn your mic on. You can go ahead, Navy. Let's see. Maybe Navy has stepped away from her phone or something. So I'll just give her a second to see like if she gets ready. I'll let I just added Coach T up. So I'll let Coach T speak. And Navy, you can unmute yourself after Coach T is done if you're still here. Go ahead, Coach T. Hey sis.
Hey Trigger, good morning, y'all. I just wanted to come up and remind y'all, and I put this in the comment, that a lot of these men, well, I'll just say, and this is related to number two, and I mentioned this before, but I wanted to remind that black women that a lot of these men, but especially black men, These are men who were born addicted to illegal substances. They are just now all grown up. So when you're interacting with them and you're like, he seemed a little off, or like something just don't seem quite right about him. They literally do not have the mental capacity or the cognitive facilities to be in a conversation with you or to be in a relationship with you. They seem a little slow because they are. Some of these people, and this is no shade to people who are differently abled or who have educational, issues. Some of these people had IEPs or they needed them, but they never got a diagnosis. They never got the services that they needed. And this is why it's important for Black mothers, but especially if you're a Black mother and you have a son, get that boy the services that he needs. Let them people put a label on him and give him a diagnosis. Don't be out here listening to Dr. Umar saying they misdiagnosing Black boys. No, he needs a diagnosis. He needs to get services, because now these men are out in the world with the most educated demographic of women and they can't keep up. So keep that in mind when y'all are out here interacting and talking to these people, because they need an IEP. And this is related to number 2, because I watched one video response from the young man in a situation, and he can't even form a coherent thought. It was painful. I forced myself to sit through the 7 minutes that he was talking, and I was like, oh, it makes sense. Like, everything is adding up and making sense now, because he don't know how to talk. He wasn't saying nothing. Oh, blah, 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 and mumbling it. It just gave me a headache. I literally am getting a headache right now because I was just sitting here listening to that person you had up here talking, and I'm like, oh my goodness, is he chewing on rocks for breakfast? Like, can you talk clearly? Can you enunciate? Can you pronounce a word? Like, it is literally exhausting. That's why I've chosen to disengage. Like, I really don't have conversations with most men outside of if it's not like work related or like a professional capacity. I don't have conversations with them. I don't engage in conversations with them, because not only are they energy vamping, like, they're going to make you work in the conversation, but you're going to have to work to reach a basic level of understanding with them. And for me personally, this is across the board with all people, but especially with men. When we're having a conversation and we're coming to the table, so to speak, to have a conversation, we have to first agree on a basic reality. And most Black men cannot agree on a basic reality with Black women. So we cannot even have a conversation, because we are living in 2 different worlds. We can't even agree on a basic foundational understanding to build this conversation off of. And so I just disengage. We don't even have nothing to talk about, because not only are you a little slow, but you are delusional. And that is what we're dealing with, people who are delusional. And so if you're going to talk to men in general, but if you are a Black woman and you are going to be in intimate relationships with men, have conversations with men, even the men in your family, understand that some of them are a little slow. They're not, some of them play dumb, but some of them are actually dumb.
You know what I find, and I appreciate everything that you said, Coach T. What I find to be weird is that when Black men want to come online and they want to talk about like child support, or they want to talk about like eviction rates for the Black woman, or they want to talk about, abortion rates, which actually, if anybody ever looks into abortion, there are a lot of abortions that are not like recorded or registered. So they said that we'll never know the true abortion rate. And I think we know that there are a lot of white T girls that be out there for the streets and in college wilding that probably use that a lot and don't want that out there, that they participated in that. So we'll never know the true numbers. But when you give Black men statistics about things that are going on, then all of a sudden it's lies. The stats are not accurate. It's not real. Why are you lying? But then everything that applies to Black women, all of a sudden those things are real and factual. But I'm going to go over here to Chosen and see what he has to say, since he said the things that I was saying I was lying, even though everything that I said was very factual, very fact-based information that can easily be looked up online. Go ahead, Chosen.
Where are you guys getting your sources from?
You know where we're getting our sources from. The same
United
place that
States.
you could
Okay,
get, the
okay.
same place you
Calm
could get your
down.
sources.
Calm down.
No, 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 no. See, that's what I'm saying. Like
United
y'all
Census
gotta,
Board.
y'all gotta chill. Y'all gotta chill. You don't come now. Imagine if I came in your house, right? And you don't know me from a can of paint, and I looked at you and I said, "Chosen, go brush your teeth. Go clean up your house. Go do this, that, and the third. Change this, do this." You would feel like I was being disrespectful, right? Because I was in your house. So I need you to understand that when you come in my house, you don't tell me to calm down. You don't tell me to do Nathaniel. I don't know you. I don't owe you nothing. So it's like y'all don't have the very basic level of respect. But then y'all get shocked when somebody responds to y'all in kind. And then y'all be the same ones like, "Oh, you your husband. I bet you treat you. Why you treat me like this? You treat your husband like this?" No, I don't treat my husband like this because my husband is respectful. Y'all are very disrespectful. And I don't understand why y'all feel like y'all can talk to somebody like that. Like, what part of the game make you feel like you can come in my life and tell me to calm down? Like, you know me. You was already violating in the comments. So what would make you feel like that would be a good look for you? And that's exactly what I mean. But then if it was a white T man in here, a white T woman in here, you be on your best behavior, tap dancing and soft shoeing and talking about massa, massa, massa. Massa, let's all get along, massa. It's crazy. Y'all got so much smoke for black women, but none for yourselves, none for each other, and none for other races of people. It's crazy. Like, it lightweight make me not even want to have a conversation with you. But it's so crazy. Like, just realize in the future that it's not black women being argumentative. It's that y'all be mad, disrespectful. Like I said, imagine if I came to your live and said that to you. I'd be all type of aggressive, masculine, mean, disrespectful black women that don't know how to respect the black king, the black god. Like, man, like it's ridiculous. I just don't even want to talk to you. You just threw it off. Like I don't even want to have a conversation with you. I don't even want to
I
talk to
told
you.
you, Trigger, they don't have the foresight to even make that calculation into the future. How do I need to conduct myself in this space so that I can facilitate an environment where everybody can be heard and be welcome? They don't care, but they can't math. They can't do all of they pluses and minuses. They don't value education, so they've never taken algebra. They don't understand that the point of algebra is to be able to problem solve and to do all your pluses and minuses. They can't do it. They don't have it. They're not there.
Yeah, and then he said in the comments that I'm ignorant, and that's what I mean. Like, the lack of accountability is wild. Like, you come and you get in my live and tell me to calm down, like you somebody's pappy, and then you say that I'm ignorant. Me being ignorant would be to tear you up and call you an uneducated, buck broken buffoon, and tell you that I can guarantee you that your education is of a third grade reading level. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't. No, you're ignorant, because if you weren't ignorant and you were intelligent, you would know how to speak to a lady, but you don't. And you want to know why you can't speak to a lady? Because your mama wasn't a lady. Your dad was a no good bum that was out there looking for any 304 that he could get his hands on, and that happened to be your mama. Your mama meant to swallow, but she didn't that day because she was too drunk. And that's the reason why you are ignorant, because you don't know no better, because you come from piss poor family, a very bad, bad background. That's what it is. Your family was trash and you trash. And if you don't got kids, you'll have trash babies too. And they'll be pookies just like you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not playing no punches with you. You're not the chosen one. You're the unchosen one, because or maybe you're the chosen one for stupidity. How about that? Your mama was chosen that day for your daddy to go ahead and bang her out behind the back of a trash can where you were conceived. You know what I'm saying? That's when she was chosen. Like I said, let me just go ahead and block you because you making me be a mean person. And I don't like to be mean. So I'm gonna block you. Have a great day, sir. You bye. Cause it's just like I said, you're not gonna gaslight me. Like, you come up here being disrespectful and talking to me like I owe you something, like you my daddy, and then I wouldn't even let my father talk to me like that. So why would I let you, some random ashy that probably got white in the corners of his mouth, you know what I'm saying, and probably smegma on his shaft, You know what I'm saying? Talk to me about anything. Like y'all got to get real. I bet you don't even get the rag and clean properly in between the crack of your behind. But you want to come and talk to me like you got something to say and like I must listen. I don't got to listen to nothing. You ain't going to say nothing that I haven't heard before, which is this. This is what y'all do when y'all get up here. Dust, 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 dust. Dusty, 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 dusty. Pookie, 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 pookie. Tyrone, 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 Tyrone. Pookie, 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 pookie. The black man needs to be respected. Pay 50% of the bills or 100%. Wah, 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 wah. That's all y'all ever say. That's all y'all ever say. Y'all say nothing accurate. I say, hey, do you know that you can go on Google and look at this stat? Oh, that's the white T-man stats. Like, get out of here. But then y'all want to use every stat that y'all see that y'all think is bad about black women. We can believe it when it's about black women, but we can't believe it when it's about y'all. Like, stop the game. Stop the games. And like I said, y'all really and then you know what's so funny to me is that I think this is a perfect example. Like, you know how people say that black women have like a hard edge or a hard air, or they get smart or aggressive with black men. I think this is a perfect example of how black men can change your energy because of their poor, ignorant behavior. I had two black men up here, two ignorant buttheads that were disrespectful, that tried to act like they was going to check me in my own home. And now I'm irritated. And now I got an attitude. And now I'm over here. You see what I'm saying? And that's really the life experience of most black women. You deal with enough black men, you gon' be irritated. You know what I mean?
That is irritating, and it's so funny that you say that because I was just having this conversation with my daughter last night about how they try to minimize their violence and abuse that they perform just because they're not, blacking your eyes or dot or crossing your T's. They'll say that, oh no, being verbally abusive or emotionally abusive, that's not violent or that's not abusive. They have to put their hands on you, which is crazy. So what they do is they come up here to try to be emotionally abusive and try to be verbally perform a verbal assault and then try to pretend like that's not what they're doing. He came up here being emotionally abusive, telling you to calm down, trying to minimize your feelings or try to pretend like him being disrespectful and his intent to be disrespectful wasn't read immediately. No, you're that's not what I'm doing. You need to calm down. You need to heal. That's abusive.
I definitely agree. I think that the mind games that they go through is just that they try to do is just really insane. But it just don't work on me because it's just like I'm just about to drop you and block you because you're not about to play with me. Go ahead. Let's see. Uh, MA or Nat vote. Go ahead.
Oh my God. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, did you accidentally request up?
Yeah, but I'm in alignment with what you guys are saying. I'm completely like I have nothing to offer because I'm completely aligned with you, Trigger. I have nothing to add except I'm piggybacking off everything you're saying. So sorry about requesting.
Oh, no problem. No problem, sis. It's okay. Yeah, but like I was saying, y'all, I definitely agree with you, Coach T. It's just like it's so easy to see through their games. And I wish that they would understand that like they are single-handedly like really alienating, themselves from black women. And with each live that they come on and they're disrespectful and different black women see it and hear it, all it does is make more black women firm in their stance that, they have to take the cape off. And that is to me is just like because I think black men don't realize how they're looked at by in the eyes of the world. If you lose every, black woman out there, you're basically asked out. You know what I'm saying? And it's black women taking off the cape every day. I know I've taken my cape off a long time ago. And you know, I just wish that they would realize that they do themselves no favors. You know what I mean? They do themselves no favors when they put this out in the internet. The disrespect. Like I just let's see here. Why? Let me see this person right here. Why so petty? Let me see. What are you saying here? Um, let me see. And also Abduli, I don't y'all two, what are y'all talking about? Like I couldn't see everything that you were saying in the comments. So what were
Good
you
morning,
saying? Why
ladies.
so petty? Good morning.
Good morning. Listen, I just want to say I don't want to argue with y'all. I cannot out argue y'all. I can't. I can't. I'm just saying, man. Like, we love you guys, man. We're raised by women, like, for real. Like, little boys that are at such a disadvantage because we're raised by women, and we love them so much for raising us. You know what I mean? We're at a disadvantage, man. Like, we love you guys so much, and there's so much turmoil out here when it comes to us being united. And dude, it's not all of us, man. Y'all can't let your heart get that bitter that it's all of us. It can't be
Who
all of
said
us.
that it was all of you and who said that they
That's
were
what I'm
better
saying.
than
I'm not coming here to argue. I'm just saying in general, that's the general thesis about black men. Like you said, we don't see how we're viewed in the world. We absolutely do. We are not blind, nor are we deaf. We hear most of it from our own women. We are not deaf.
No, you don't hear most of it for your own women. You hear most of it from society. Like either the black man is the most discriminated against from other races or he isn't. So if you are indeed the most discriminated against, then you would be feeling it from other people way more so than you would be feeling it from us. And that's
That's
just
pretty much
looking
what I
at from a
said.
lot. No, it didn't. You said you feel it the most from the women in your community.
No, I
And
said
that's
we
not
hear
true.
it the most. We hear it the most. Everybody's
So
not
so
telling us
you
what they
you
think
so
about
you
us
hear
on a
it so
daily
you hear
basis.
it the
And
you
I don't
don't think
like to
white
argue.
people okay, well then you can drop then if you don't want to have a conversation you can go ahead and get off because what you said doesn't make any sense because if you're discriminated against and you're having racism and you're in a racist oppressive system you're going to feel it more than you feel it from black women regardless of what you're talking about you hear it from because you're actually experiencing the power of oppression and discrimination and racism from the people that you're talking about not from black women so what are you talking about like that doesn't make any sense to me and
I
what
am a
I don't like
carpenter
is I don't
and I
like it
work
when
amongst white men.
I don't like it when black men come up here and make it seem as if black men are out here being abused by black women. Black women are always talking about them. There are plenty of black women that are out here still with their cape on, still worshiping y'all, still letting y'all cheat on them and beat on them and abuse them and do them any type of way. That's exactly why I had this live today about these two black women, one light skinned woman, one dark skinned black woman flying themselves out to meet some man so that he can have intercourse with them and toss them to the side and all of the thousands and thousands and thousands of women that have followed this black man and decided to support him and uplift him because there are plenty of black women that do that. And I don't like this false narrative that y'all come because somebody says something that you perceive to be negative about black men, even though it's factual, and try to come in here and play the game. Well, it's not me. Nobody said it was all of y'all. Nobody said that. But every time somebody says something about a problem that's going on, here y'all come trying to throw it off and say, oh, well, it's not me though. Or, oh, the white man doesn't do anything to you. Well, if you work with plenty of white men and they don't do anything to you and everything is peaches and cream, then I don't want to hear nothing about the police unaliving you. I don't want to hear nothing about you have any risk factors. I don't want to hear nothing about you being racially profiled. I don't want to hear nothing about Karen stopping y'all and asking y'all, do you belong here? I don't want to hear about any of it because clearly it's black women that have the power. It's black women that are giving y'all unfair prison sentences. It's black women that are stalking y'all and putting y'all in positions to because of the color of your skin and say, oh, look, there's a black man right there. He needs to go to jail. I think he's doing something. If that's the case, then I don't want to hear nothing about white people moving forward. I really don't. You know what I'm saying? And the idea that y'all come up here and y'all say, oh, it's not all of us. It's not all of us. But then you come up to be dismissive and act like you don't understand what I'm saying. If you don't understand that I'm not saying everybody and I'm talking about the collective and not each and every solitary black man, then I don't know what to tell you. Because if you, and then it's like y'all try to make it like it's this equal power dynamic. Like it's black women that are the ones. You know what I'm saying? Like it's when y'all are unaliving black women the most. Like I said earlier, if you weren't here, black women make up 10% of the US female population. Yet 59 to 60% of all unalivings, and 9 times out of 10, that's done by y'all. But y'all don't talk about that. That would be a big indicator for black women to say, hey, you know what? Y'all are putting us in the dirt. Maybe y'all don't like us. Maybe y'all don't care about us. But y'all would rather come up here and deflect. And it's really, like I said, it's disgusting and it's disgraceful and it's disingenuous. And then when somebody gets an attitude because you do it, then you act like I'm the problem. Like it just doesn't make any sense. Like truthfully, and nobody wants to argue with you. If you feel like the tone that I'm speaking in is an argumentative tone, then respectfully, you need to go somewhere else and change your panties because clearly you are like maybe a little bit too weak for this conversation. And I would like to talk to an actual man. You know what I mean? So yeah. So maybe we just can't have a conversation. Let me go down here to Jessica. Go ahead, Jessica. I'm gonna send you a request to turn your mic on. Go ahead, Jessica.
It's amazing to me how women want to be uncivilized and then act like it's
Oh, okay, yeah,
everybody
but it's
else.
amazing, and it's amazing to me how you can be a man that is basically wearing panties around this, like wearing panties and being weak and being buck broken and being soft and gentle to where you probably need a spa day and somebody to wax your bikini area. You know what I'm saying? I don't talk to men that get full Brazilians, all right? And that's clearly you. And I would say something else, but I'm really not trying to be, you think I'm trying to be disrespectful, but I'm really not, because I really spared you. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, when I see older black men that are this goofy, it is so disappointing. And then we wonder why the young black men still aren't able to do anything. Why the young black men are still out here thugging it, abusing
Absolutely.
their moms, unaliving people in society, doing all of these things. And the reason why is because the so-called unks or the grandpappies in the case of the dude that was just up here, because y'all don't have any information to pass over to the young. Because you guys are, bottom of the barrel, buck broken betties, and y'all want the men that are coming up to be the same. Disgraceful. Go ahead, Jessica.
The things that you have said, I was going to say the same exact things. But, dealing with the black men in the community, um, even in the older generations, because they seem to think that these things have just started. And it's men in their 80s and 70s and even 90s that have done these horrible things to the community. So this is not a brand new thing that has been happening. We can say it's been happening over a century now, I guess. Um, but yeah, even though we have been raped, or I'm sorry, graped, abused, used, we still love our black men. I'm a victim of it, and I still love black men. Why? I don't know. Maybe I'm sick, you know? Um, but yeah, but like I said, a lot of things that you said, I was going to say the same exact things, but I just wanted to say that the black men have hurt the community by abusing us and using us, and they still want us to be submissive and quiet about the situations that happens. That's it.
Okay. All right, Jessica. Let me go up here to Abdul.
Yes, hello?
Yes.
Okay, so you're wondering what I was saying in the comments earlier, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first part I was mentioning was about stats. So from the one I seen, it was showing a different number as far as unaliving. But
What number? What are you talking about as far as unaliving? What number? What are you speaking of? Are you talking about black femicide? Or are you there?
yeah,
Yeah. Are you talking about black femicide? Black women are 6 times more likely to be unalived than any other race of woman here. And the majority of the time it is a black man. That is a fact. So I don't know where you looked. It's everywhere. Like literally everywhere. Like where do you think, well, what are we talking about? Like he's got his screen blanked out, so I would love for him to come back and tell me.
oh my bad. I was actually looking at the website, so I was switching between two. But the
Okay,
website,
so
it
you
said homicides. So I looked at one side where it shows by race, and then there's another side where it
okay?
shows.
No. I want you to look up right now on what black women their femicide rate. Just plug that into Google and tell me what you see.
All right, just give me a moment.
the fact that this man would try to debate black femicide is already disgusting, but I just it's insane. Like the fact that the black man's number one way of unaliving is homicide, another man putting him in the dirt, and then this man is really gonna like try to act like what I'm saying is not true. I just It's mind-boggling to me. Like it's literally mind-boggling. It's actually making me like really, really angry. But I'm gonna wait for him to come back. But it's really making me upset. Because that's just literally insane. But let me just keep going forward until he comes back. I think Leilani was next. Then I'll go to M, then the AV guy, and then Miss Chrissy Baby. And hey, how you doing, Miss Chrissy Baby? Go ahead, Leilani. Hey, sis.
Hi, Triggered. I just want to start by saying I follow you on YouTube. That's where I first found you, and I like your videos. And then I saw
Thank you.
so I came over here. But I wanted to say something about one of the comments that I saw, and something that I hear black men say often. They always say, "Oh, that's because they're raised by the women. That's why they're feminine." Da da. But they don't understand what they're saying in reverse. They're always complaining about the system. Whenever took us out the home, they won't allow us to be a man, the white T man, child support. They're always complaining about how they're at the bottom, reparations, this and that, all of that stuff, right? Our failures, if what you're saying is true, if black women are failing you, this affects you directly. So one or two things are true. Either you're comfortable being at the bottom and dominated by another male group because you are failing to be in your children's lives and raise the type of men that can come out of the system and be the man that you claim is weaker than you, which they physically are, but they're just smarter than y'all. Or you don't want to be leaders. You just don't want to be leaders, and you just want to stay. I mean, I guess that's the same thing, but they don't understand by saying, "Oh, it's the women." This directly affects you. This is why you're at the bottom, because we're failing and you refuse to be leaders. You refuse to get yourself in more powerful positions in society. Police officers, judges, you always complain about the rate of incarceration. You refuse to be something like a scientist, getting into medicine to save your women and your children and yourselves. So they don't understand what they're saying in reverse by saying, "Oh, it's the women." It directly affects you. That's why you're at the bottom and you're doing nothing about it. So that's all I wanted to say.
Okay, all right, Leilani. All right, I got you. I'm about to go down here to the AV guy, but I did want to say really quickly to Tegan. I think your name is Tegan or Tegan. This isn't a race bait, and I think that it's very disingenuous when y'all say things like that. When somebody speaks about things that are truly factual, nobody said anything that was race baiting. Nobody said that all black men do this or that, or said anything discriminatory. We just said things that are actually able to be proven. But I'm gonna keep moving forward. You can respond to me like when it's your turn. Go ahead, AV guy.
Hey, what's going on,
No
people?
one's feelings hurt for you in the
I
chat.
just wanted to say, obviously, I'm from the UK, but I don't actually know, and I'm black, by the way. I don't actually know if you guys want to hear from the UK perspective. Just so I just wanted to ask the host first.
Yeah. I mean, what exactly did you want to say? Because I do think that these I mean, I follow a lot of women from the UK, and they talk about their experiences with black men, and it seems to mirror a lot of what's going on here. I hear them say a lot of the same things. I was actually shocked when I did like a deep dive into seeing a lot of content that black women make like this over there. But so I don't know how, but I guess you could just say what you're gonna
Yeah,
say.
can I go into a bit of detail based upon what you were talking about. So what it is down here is a bit different to a bit different to the UK, but to America. But we have our similarities. We've got a lot of self-unaliving on men's side as well as women's sides, or you know what I'm saying. We've got a lot of people being put in danger if we're talking about black men going after
Is
black
it
women.
black women doing the unalivings?
What towards black fathers, you mean, or black men, you mean?
Yes.
No. But well, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, there are cases of it, but
Yeah,
obviously
but I'm
it's getting
saying, is it a
fewer, isn't it?
lot? Because
It's fewer.
statistically, like I think it's like 95%. That's like 93 to 95% of all unalivings globally. Globally, this
Oh,
is
okay.
across the whole world, are committed by men and men alone. So I'm sure that just like where you're
Men and
at
men
there,
alone. Yeah.
yeah,
But
it's not
there
women
is
really doing it.
there is something over here, and I don't know what it is over there. So I don't know how to Google it over there, innit? And I'm not here making an excuse for it. To be completely honest, just to give you an update, I manage multiple different. I support multiple different.
Okay, so yeah, okay, I'm gonna go down here to M and then Miss Chrissy baby. Yeah, I'm sorry you guys. I dropped him. I didn't want to hear what he had to say. Once he started trying to rationalize away like, unalivings and make it like it's like women are on the equal plane, that's automatically when I start checking out. Because there's just way too many statistics to prove that men are way more violent than women. 99.1% of all forcible rape happens by men here in the United States. So it's just like you do what you want. Just 1 second, Em. I'm gonna go ahead and actually speak to Tegan first before you, Em. I'm sorry, because he about to be gone real quick. Tegan, what the heck did you add up for? Because if you don't want to hear the truth, you don't want to hear the truth. What I said is the truth. 99.1% of all forcible rape is committed by men. That's a fact. So you see what is that's true? Did you not want me to say something that's the truth, or did you want me to say things that make you feel good inside?
For one, you can stop yelling.
Okay, for one,
And
you know what for one you can do? For one, you can get off my page. Cause I'm gonna tell you right now, first of all, you ugly. And I didn't even want to degrade this down to an appearance situation, but I'd be doggone if a man that looks like a literal Grinch, you look like you belong in a literal trash can and you need to pop up out of it like Oscar the Grouch. I will be doggedy, hot diggity dog damned before you ever think you finna check me looking like that with a face that look like that. You look like you belong on Hey Arnold or something. Like honestly, you look like you could be Helga's brother. You got to stop playing with me, bro. Like y'all gotta y'all are making me be a person that I don't want to be. I don't want to be me. But the fact that y'all really feel like y'all can say whatever y'all want and do whatever y'all want and think y'all gonna check me on my own stuff is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I don't go in your house and tell you to clean it up and put some Raid out there and get rid of them roaches. I ain't go in there and tell you to clean up underneath your bed that I know is dirty. You know what I'm saying? Y'all would feel like I was violating. But like I said, it's all good. Let me block you, AV. You're gone too. Get out of here. You're blocked. Let me find the other guy that was up here. You let me block. And Tegan, first of all, you got your nerve to talk about somebody would have a heart attack. You would have a heart attack with them big nostrils of yours. You know what I'm saying? You look like you could be Mario's brother. Get out of here. Go ahead, Em. I'm sorry about that. Let me block these guys. Go ahead, Em. I'm so sorry.
So I was going to say that I noticed with these men, first of all, I always say politics is a manifestation of the man's brain. So a lot of the a lot of the stuff that we talk about up here, black men are very well aware of this. We're not informing them. We're not letting them know they know this. The difference is when we look in society and we look at the world, how men pull strings to get what they want. You have so many other demographics of men who have such high economic power, like the Asian men, the Arab men, the oil, the technology. Everywhere else, those men know how to pull their weight. But black men. So what they do is they turn to black women and they play strings with us. They put the weight on our backs. And that's where the black male worshipers come from. Because there's nobody, when you look at all these other men, they create society to where their women can feel safe, their women can feel happy, and that trickles down through the generations. But look at us. They pick us apart by how we look, our skin, our hair, from our light-skinned sisters and the dark-skinned sisters. Because those are the only strings that they can pull in society to feel wanted, to feel like men. Is if they lower a woman's self-esteem, they hire her access, and you can get her to do anything for you. And that's how they ruin the community. That's why we're so masculine. That's why we're so angry. That's why we're so least desired. Because we out here laboring for their ashy selves. I hate them. I'm sorry. I hate them.
Okay.
And I did a whole, I think it's like a 10-minute read on my channel. I don't want to promote my stuff on here, but I have 2 videos on this on my channel of me. It's like a dissertation of me just thinking about this stuff. This is all I think about all day when I look at my sisters, when I look at my brother. And that's the thing. Our black mother was very male worshiping. So and what the male worshiping women do is they abuse the black daughters coming up in the community over scarcity for men. And that's why so many black women fight each other and we rip each other's hairs out for scarcity for black men, 1. And then 2, they coddle their sons. So then their sons grow up bums. They're nothing. They provide nothing to society. And they repeat the cycle. Well, my mom was an angry black woman and she gave me everything. So if I want everything from a black woman, I got to make her angry. That's what I got to do. And then that's what they come out here and that's what they do. Yep. So for all the men that be coming up here telling me, yeah, black men are how they are because of the mothers. Yeah, from black male worshiping mothers. Black male worshiping mothers. You notice the black women who don't worship black men raise their sons great? And I digress.
Excuse me. All right, M. I before I let Miss Chrissy baby speak, I just wanted to say that I think a perfect example of what M was talking about as far as like the triangulation that goes between like black women and black men, like as far as them trying to, separate or triangulate black women, light skin, brown skin, dark skin. I think that this is a perfect example of somebody like that whole situation the reason why I made the live, I think his name is Gotti Boy, whatever, the Slim Thick Kim, the girl that flew herself out and everything for the dude. I think that, I went to the Slim Thick Kim's page. I looked at her. I went to her IG. I'm like, wow, she's very beautiful, beautiful woman. Very, very pretty and way too pretty to be acting so thirsty like that. But I do believe that that is what happens to a lot of black women. And it's not just dark skinned black women either. A lot of black women in the community, period, that they are beat down so much by black men and their unrealistic standards of what they think beauty is, that they become so desperate and thirsty and still want to center black men. Because it's like you will have somebody like 50 Cent and Lil Wayne who say that they want, light-skinned women, or they want exotic women, or they want a woman with looser hair, and they don't want a woman with nappy hair, as they got nappy hair growing right out their scalp, as they have dark skin right on their skin, but they don't want what they have, or they want to look down on somebody who has the same complexion as them, which is like truly disturbing, like bug broken behavior. And before I started really researching into like Africa and other countries where black men are, I thought, okay, well, maybe this is a black American thing. This was years ago that I thought this. Like, it's been years since I realized that was a case, like years and years and years, like over a decade. But I used to be like, what's going on here? But the men in Africa, which I feel like they're even more diabolical because they have no excuse. It's nothing but y'all over there. And y'all have also been broken. Y'all look at the men from the UK and Britain and all of that. They're also buck broken. So it's like, it's something going on with the way that they are able to allow themselves to be treated, or what that they allow their minds to go, that they begin to despise the very characters and the very qualities that they possess themselves. Because how in the world you gonna tell me I'm too nappy headed to be wet when you got the same nappy hair? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, it's literally insane. And I just wanted to respond to Majin Blue, who says, so are y'all staying single or dating outside y'all race? I wish that there weren't so many black women that would think that like dating outside of your race is a solution. Anti-blackness is global and it's in every single solitary community, even the black community. White tea people still statistically date in the most. They are very racist. They're not your savior. So what's dating outside going to do? Asian people still hold very bad, thoughts about black people collectively. Indian people, like, you know what I'm saying? Your white tea Hispanics and white tea Latinos. I could go on and on and on. So the only option would be to, you get what I'm saying? Like, dating out is not going to fix things. That's all I want to say. Go ahead, Miss Chrissy baby. I'm sorry, sis. Go ahead.
That's okay. Good morning, Trigger. How you doing, amazing
Hey,
ladies? Sorry I'm getting over the flu, but I wanted to say, like, at least for me and other women that I know, because I'm around women, a lot of these, it's kind of sick how we still had our capes on when our first traumatic experiences in our lives in general was due to a man, a Black man. We came into this world innocent, soft, trusting, and our first violation was from the men in the community that's supposed to protect us. So if that's a reoccurring event just in childhood alone, from 0 to teenage years, and then you're supposed to go into the world like, okay, forget all about that because they're going to weaponize the fact that you had things happen with the majority of Black women, unfortunately, been through those things, but you're supposed to suck that up, put that to the side, and still trust these men into your lives and constantly get the same reaction, even if you're not even in an intimate relationship. For me, even just pumping gas or just getting a Sprite from the mini mart in the gas station, I'm going to be harassed or yelled at because I reject the number. I just don't see kindness as a whole or protection. So even on here, the guys that come up, their behavior is, are we supposed to still just be soft and just take it? But we learn as a child that you can't be like that anymore. You have to protect yourself. You have to almost have a stance to where you almost scare people off or scare them off because you know if they come near you, you don't know what their reaction is going to be if you reject them or, you know what I mean? So it's not like we just coming up with this for no reason. And the last thing I wanted to say is if they can blame the government, if they can blame women, and there's so many fingers pointing on their condition, then they're not truly leaders. So then are we supposed to submit to people that are admitting on a daily basis that they're not leaders? So that's all.
All right. Okay. All right, Miss Chrissy, baby. I always is good to see you. I always appreciate you. Let me go here to Abdul real quick. I just want to find out. You looked up the information?
Yeah. So yeah, when you said femicide, I didn't hear that part. I heard the part where you were talking about unaliving. So I looked up homicides, which led to me finding that about Black men, like all the different races and all that. So for
So did you see
femicide,
that I was correct on the black femicide statistics or no?
yeah. So what I found was that it was almost 4 times higher than white women for.
It's 6 times now.
Oh, well, other mentioned what I found was from 2020. I couldn't find a 2024 one.
Okay. All right. Have a great day, Abdul. All right. I don't feel like I want to talk to you any further because I think you and I both know that the stats that I said was accurate. And I think that's why when you came back, you had kind of like a dejected spirit to you because you wanted so badly for black women to be lying or making excuses about what's occurring with black women when it is absolutely true. Asia, I sent you a request to come up, Asia, but you about to get blocked because I don't know if you
Asia
are
cooking.
okay, let me drop you, Faisal. You already lost your place by doing that. Let me say, as far as and my thing is that Faisal, you have on a shiesty mask. Like be for real. Like you are probably the most low class, bottom of the barrel, ghetto, hood rat man of all time. Like, let me block you, Asia. If you're not woman enough to get up here, you could be a dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? You could be a man. Let me block you, Fazo. Hold on. Bye-bye. Since you don't care, I'll just easily block you. See you later. You're gone. And Asia, you don't want to come up here, sis? All right, let me block you as well. Hold on, you guys. Let me find Asia really quickly where she was. She's gone. All right. Bye bye, Asia. See you later. Okay. So let me go up here to Cha Cha and then Link. Go ahead.
Hi, host. Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me. I just
Yeah.
wanted to kind of a highlight that man who said he was from the UK was lying. It's all men. Unfortunately, it's all men until no men, because we are being unalived at ridiculous rates. There is a global endemic of violence against women and girls. Even here, the Met Police Office have stated that there is a national emergency of violence against women, and we're losing about 2 to 3 women every week due to domestic violence and homicide. So everything you said is absolutely fact. I mean, even in America, although you have bigger numbers, it is a reflection here. And so the denial that men globally have about what's actually happening proves that they are not protectors, they are not providers, and in fact, they're absolute drains and vampires, like you've said before, host. And I think the delusion is real, is that they, even when people have been talking in the comments, a lot of the men have said, that's not me, that's not, trying to other themselves. All they do is
Your
come
job,
to
man. You're on every
lives.
live. You're on every live. I see you on
Excuse
every
me,
UK live. You're every UK.
JT. I don't know what you thought or what this is, but if you plan on saying anything, you gonna let her speak, and then you can speak maybe possibly afterward. But I don't know what you thought, but I should have known anybody that has a picture of a white criminal, anybody that has a picture of a white T criminal on his like profile picture as if that's something to glorify, I already know that you're a pookie. So you're already uneducated in a
Allow it,
pookie.
man.
Yeah,
Please.
yeah. Okay, I got you. Bye bye. Take your ashy butt on out of here. Go do something with yourself. All right, go ahead, Cha Cha. He's gone. I don't even
Yeah, but they come up and they prove the prompt every time.
every time.
Every single time they come up and they prove the prompt. And that's another example of why we know it's global. Because, again, the male fragility means they can't accept the reality and statistics. Instead of being outraged by the violence that women are facing, they're trying to defend why they are not part of that, when in the very denial is that. How can you deny that that these things are happening to women and children, and then say that you're a protector in the same breath? None of that makes any sense. You're not a protector. Most men are protectors of other men's egos, and the denial of the violence means that these perpetrators can go unchecked. So you are part of the problem, and that's why we say it's all men until it's no men. I absolutely love your live host and everything that you've said here. That although we've got work to do, we are willing to do it. We're not coming onto panels to be correct. We're coming to share our experiences as women and femme presenting people, so that people know that there are alternatives, and that we don't have to centre men, because our lives are a lot better and enriched without that. So obviously, if you're dating or married or whatever, great. But at the same time, we need to focus on fulfilling our own cups, because we haven't had that as women, and we know that. So making sure that we focus on our friendships, our relationships with family, if they're supportive, that's our priority, not men. Men don't have an identity without centering us. That's why they're always on these lives trying to tear women down. And I'll land there.
All right, I appreciate you, Cha Cha. I actually think it was very good that you came up today because, and there were also men from other areas of the world, because I think a lot of times Black American people, or especially Black American women, they are talked about a lot, and a lot of times people try to make it seem as if it's only us. There's something wrong with us, and our Black men, or I don't even say our Black men, the Black men here are behaving in a certain type of way. And it's just because of us and whatever people say, Black American culture, this, that, and the third. But when you see other cultures of Black people and they're from somewhere totally different, and they're having the exact same experiences with Black men, the Black men that are being violent, disrespectful, being buck broken, putting other races of women above black women, talking about their hair and their skin complexion, even though they possess the same things, it lets you know that there's some type of psychology and pathology in the Black man's psyche that has been affected by white supremacy, and it has happened everywhere. Every single solitary place where Black men are, these things go on. And I think that is something that is very strange. And to be honest with you, it's something that has plagued me for literally years. I have literally got on my knees and prayed to God about it. I am really confused at why this has happened and why this occurs, because you never hear Black women saying to a Black man, "Oh, you're too dark for me. Oh, your hair is too nappy for me." Like, I'm not saying you might find some random, you know what I'm saying, Candace Owen type women, but the majority of Black women don't move like that. But you see a lot of that in Black men, and it's disturbing. And I don't know why. You know what I'm saying? I really don't know why. It's something that I have always struggled with wondering the answers to. But Anyway, I don't know. But let me keep going. I'm going to go to Link, then Mimi, and then Zay. Go ahead, Link. Let me send you a request to turn your mic on just in case you can't. You could go ahead, Link. You there? Okay. All right. So let's go down here to Mimi and then Zay. Go ahead, Mimi.
Hey, host. First, I want to say thank you for letting me up. Trigger, I appreciate everything you do and everything you say, and I commend you. I'm on your YouTube and I'm on your TikTok. Wherever you go, I'm gonna be there.
Thank you.
Number one, black women still have a lot of work to do. Still, yes, black women, we're not making good decisions right now. A lot of black women are in terrible relationships that has their life in shambles. And they don't understand that all they have to do is get rid of these weak, let me watch my language, is get rid of these weak black men that's not taking care of the home and not doing what they supposed to do. They need to get rid of them and move on with your life. Number two, what do number two mean, ho?
Have you heard about that story of the girls that were flying themselves out to see that guy? And
Oh, you talking about the girl that said, and then the boy came out and said he never flew her out and all that.
yeah.
Yeah, she's retarded. She's retarded. If any of y'all doing anything like that or taking after any of those type of traits that that girl got, you stupid. You dumb. Put her to the side. She's a 304. The third one say, why are black women still protected and believing in black men? Because remember when you was talking about the other day, host, you said the only reason that we still have a little bit of hope is so what won't happen, so that black people won't be extinct. That's the only reason we got a little bit of hope and we trying a little bit with y'all. Is so that the black people period as a whole won't be extinct.
just
Um,
1 second, Mimi. I just wanted
mhm.
to say that the reason why I had asked number 3 was because just like somebody said in the comments, of Brooklyn, I think Brooklyn Shanae said this. There were so many black women taking that guy's word for everything. It was mind-boggling to me. Like, why were they taking his word? He clearly looks like a pookie, a thug, a criminal. I know that man been locked up before. He looked like a scammer. He can't even speak proper English, but yet they were willing to believe everything that he was saying over a fellow black woman. And I'm not saying that what she did wasn't stupid, because it was stupid, it was desperate, it was thirsty. But why would you ever believe wholeheartedly what a black man is saying, especially when it comes to something like this? And then when it comes out that he's lied, now it's so many black women like, oh my gosh, he was lying. Of course he was lying, goofy. Like,
That's
what?
because common sense ain't so common. That's why the stuff that we think is common sense, the half of the other females not doing it. They're not thinking like that. And it's crazy and it's sad. But that's why I support what you do and everything you're doing. Oh, and then what's the last one? Oh, no, I was on number 4. There are still plenty of picks. Yeah, those are the pick me's. The girl that flew herself out to go see the boy, and the ones that be up here on the panel talking about, but we shouldn't. I hate when we talk about our black men. Them, yeah, those ones. Those are the ones they talking about. The pick me, put them to the side. We don't want nothing to do with them. I don't pay females like that no mind. Number 5, X will not get a man's respect. Of course not. But that's what the pick me's think. They think if they do, if they subject themselves, they always out here shaking their ass, showing skin, keep having babies by these weak ass niggas. Yeah, that's how it goes.
All
But
right.
that's why I wanted to come up and say, host. I didn't. That's all I got to say. I love you, Trigger. That's it.
All right,
You can put
thank
me down.
you. Thank you, sis. I appreciate you so much for coming up. And I just wanted to respond real quick to Christine in the comments. Christine is a black woman. Christine, I'm disappointed in you, sis. You said so we should have just believed her 100%. when you're hearing, any story online, you can take it with a grain of salt until you see, more evidence to prove whoever's party. But I would just personally say this, and there's in no reality that I would ever believe anybody over a black woman, period. Unless I had cold hard proof, cold hard evidence. The over 70,000 black women that followed this man because they thought he was attractive, and I don't even know why. They thought, because he ain't even cute, but I guess to each his own. The fact that they were willing to believe that man's story wholeheartedly and go to her page and disparage her and degrade her and talk about her, that's a problem. That's what I'm saying is the problem. Why would you do that? Why would you ever run to the defense of a black man and go against a black woman? When do you see black men doing that for you? Huh? When do you see a black woman doing something like that and black men just flock to her defense? Black men just flock to her defense and then start attacking the black men. You never see that. They stick together. And that's the problem, is that more of us need to stick together. Imagine if a black woman had been accused of doing this type of thing to a black man, Let's say, like, you know how black men really care about their money, the little coins that they have, and somebody getting their $1.50 out of their Chase Bank account. Imagine if it was like something that she had, went out there and he paid for her flight and she didn't give him any. And she told the story. No black men would have given her grace and said, oh, yeah, we believe that. We believe he did that to you. They would be all in that lady's post calling her everything but a child of God. That's the difference. That's what I'm saying. They would never do that for you. So why would you do that against the sister for them? That's insanity. So, and the fact that you don't understand that, Chrissy, leads me to believe that there's something in audio. Go ahead, Zay.
What's up, y'all?
Hello, how you doing?
Shit, pretty high.
Oh, okay. Well, I tell you what, babe. Yeah, you can pretty hide your ass somewhere else. Oh my gosh. Like, and this is what I mean. Like, it's like, how can you have a intelligent conversation with me and you're under the influence, you're listening to rap, you're goofy? Like, what would make you think that I would want to have any type of conversation with a Pookie? Like, what? Like, let me go ahead and block you. Like, you gotta go. Let me block you so I don't have to see nothing else you gotta say. It's I wish that y'all would understand that when y'all do things like that, y'all just push forth the narratives. And I'm sorry about cussing. I really didn't mean to. Y'all push forth the narratives about the ignorance of black men, the lack of empathy that they have, the lack of care. They only care about themselves. Y'all definitely don't care about each other, or y'all wouldn't be unaliving each other every day. So, and it just seems like y'all only care about yourselves. And if you only care about yourself, it's impossible to have conversations like this. It's impossible. But let me keep going to audio. Go ahead, audio. I just wish that y'all make black men look worse than I ever could. Y'all say that I make y'all look bad. Okay. I don't. Y'all do that, not me. Go ahead, audio. Go ahead, sir.
What's good? What's good? What's good?
Hey, how
Yeah,
you
yeah.
doing?
I'm audio. I'm well. Thank you. Yourself? Good, good. Okay. I'm actually not up to speed with the story that you're speaking about. I haven't seen the video. But I have some things that I do agree with, which was saying there's a portion in our community of men who seem to not care about the mess that they're leaving behind. You can call me a sympathizer or whatever. It's just the way it is. We can see the lack of accountability that they have in terms of, let's say you start a family and you know that you're not really well off, your paper is not is not how you want it to be, then you just bounce on the baby. So yeah, things like that, I could say they are partly our wrongdoing, and the solution starts when we take responsibility and try to be better men to lead you guys. And then there are other areas where we could cooperate and work together, especially with our black queens in the community, so that we can have healthy conversations and intelligent debates, call it, or diatribes, to stick together, because the system wants us not to get along with each other and to just propagate this image of the black woman, which is detrimental more than it is helpful.
Okay. All right. Audio. Uh, let me go up here to Leilani again and see if you had anything else to say. Oh, Chacha had something to say too, but go ahead, Leilani.
Okay, I was just gonna say I saw this was like way earlier, but I saw some men in the comments before they got kicked out just saying, "Oh, we have bad attitudes." And what's so crazy is like they have terrible attitudes. It's reflective everywhere they go, and the difference between us having an attitude and them having attitudes is like women are moody and mouthy in general. So let's say we are loud, ghetto, whatever. Let's say they're right. It still just manifests as only that when they have attitudes, they go and they do shootouts, they go and they make diss songs about each other, they get into rap beefs, they join gangs, they are extremely violent physically. And that's a huge difference. That's why their rates are so high, and that's why our rates are so high. They can't control their anger. And then also, I just wanted to touch on something. It's kind of like a little bit off the subject, but I hear a lot of them say too, like as soon as they get money moving out the hood, they just don't never understand what they're saying. They haven't built nothing, so they understand who they are. They don't like to be around each other. As soon as they get money, they move from around each other. So to listen to us and to act like we're bashing them when they hate to be around each other, when they unalive each other. I had this one guy last year that I went on a date with at the casino. And as we were leaving, there was a black guy getting arrested and there were just white cops around. And he was just like, "Oh my God, I hate them, da da da." But this is the same man, no matter where I used to go with him, he would have his, I'm trying not to, I'm trying to use TikTok language. He would have his pew pew with him, ready to shoot any black man down because he don't feel safe around them. So it's just like they don't even like each other. They don't trust each other. They can't work with each other. And then when we literally say the same thing that they've been saying, we say what their actions reflect, and then we hate them. It makes no sense. But that's all I wanted to say.
I think that what you said was very accurate, and I think that you made some good points. And it's also things that I've thought myself as well, because they would always make it like black women are the worst and the worst of the worst. But then we would be like, well, when people are at parties, who are they afraid of when they see come in to party? It certainly isn't black women. You know what I mean? It's certainly not black women if they got some bonnets on. Oh my goodness, there's some black women with their bonnets on. They probably gonna pew pew the place up. Don't nobody care. Don't nobody care when they see us. No black men are scared of us. No black men when they see us on the street. If they just got paid or it's late at night, they leaving the club and they see a group of us, they not scared. But if they see a group of them, they scared. They trying to hurry up and get to the car ASAP because they think they might be in the dirt later. So I don't get it either, sis.
I just wanted to say one more thing too. You know what? One thing I can say about black women, I don't care what we doing, whether we're the uppity ones, the nerds, the ratchet ones, at least we can find happiness in something. At least we can find happiness in twerking and being ratchet, whatever. It might not be the best for for the kids and for the community, but we find happiness in something. They don't find happiness in anything. They still angry when they're being violent. When they go to school, then they're uppity and they look down on the community a lot of times. They can't find happiness in anything. At least black women can still find happiness in something, right or wrong. But they're just very angry, low vibrational individuals. It's just crazy to me. Vibrational individuals. It's just crazy to me.
Okay. I think also the approach that we have to. Sorry for if someone else wanted to speak. As a
Yeah.
black man myself,
Yeah, it's got to
I,
be
w- I
Cha
w-
Cha. She's next.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Cha Cha.
Thank you. I think that's the thing as well, that, a lot of them will come on here and say, "Oh, but we need to work together." No, we don't. I am not going to work with somebody who's actively oppressing me and not calling out on other men. They constantly want us to back them up, and women do. We do that. We go out and protest. We take action. In fact, most of the women are the leaders in the community, and the recent election is a perfect example of how women took that step forward, especially black women, to make sure that that we're trying to make change happen. But I think that even when I'm on panels, and this is black men in the UK and in the US, they are constantly looking to bring down black women, especially if women are speaking the truth, or they're talking about something very specific, they get so fragile and upset about it. And even when we're being direct and saying, look, this is what's happened, this is the example, the level of cognitive dissonance and the fact that they demand to be coddled and spoken to in a nice way speaks volumes about their sense of entitlement. They can make every excuse under the sun about why they're not achieving or why they're not doing something, but fail to recognise the misogynoir that we as black women face. And it's the hypocrisy, especially when they start to use spiritual abuse to try and control women. They try and use the gaslighting about the nuclear family. Black women have always worked. We have always worked in history. So this whole nuclear family aligns with the patriarchy, which is built on white supremacy. And the fact that they don't see that and, you know, spew out red pill rhetoric, believing in all of that but BS, shows that they're aligning with that white supremacy and they can't even see it. I'm so glad that women, especially black women, are reading and educating and decentering men for our own betterment, but we can't seem to enjoy even having a moment on a panel because there's always a man crying about, well, that's not me, and look at me, I'm not doing that. I'm not hitting women, as if they should get a cookie for the bare minimum. So I think that that's always the thing that we see on these lives, and it's a global issue. It's all men. I'll land there.
Okay, all right, Cha Cha. Nava, I saw your comment about like why are black women talking to them and like instead of mobilizing and planning, like this is a distraction. I really hate that type of rhetoric. This isn't a distraction. This is TikTok. You're on here just like me. If you didn't want to be distracted, you would have never came across this live and saw anything. You know what I'm saying? Because you'd be somewhere mobilizing and planning. So, and I think that people underestimate the power of women being able to have spaces and speak about things, create connections, build community, have certain thought processes unlocked in them that they might not have had before. Doing this, there is merit in this as well. But go ahead.
Okay, I get what you're saying about women having spaces, but what I'm saying is if this is a woman space and women are trying to get together and do something different, why are there men on the panel instead of women just talking to women and planning? With all the stuff that's going on in the government, we know that black men are not going to change. They're not going to mobilize with us and help us. So why keep
I will see, but
talking
I'm
to
not
them?
of the thought that every single solitary man is bad. I don't think that, but me personally, if you really want to know the truth, the reason why I let black men up here or men come up here in general is strictly for entertainment purposes.
Oh,
Anybody
okay.
that knows my platform knows that this is a safe space for black women and black women only. Nobody else that comes up in this panel is safe. I always give grace to black women, you know, even if I don't agree, you know, as long as she's not on no pick me stuff, you know, and even then sometimes I let black women say what they want to say. You know, this is only a safe space for black women. Any black men, I tear them up, block them, talk to them all type of reckless and crazy. Like this isn't a space for them. This isn't that. I just sometimes like to hear what they have to say because I would like to know the mentality and thought process of a lot of the black men that I come across if they want to be in here. But honestly, if you want me to keep it real, so anybody that knows, most of the time it's for entertainment. It's just to make the
Okay.
live more enjoyable because people always tune in more when they hear some mess going on. So, but
Okay.
if I'm really talking for real, no, I I'm not really thinking, I'm not saying that there aren't any black men that would be willing to mobilize and help black women. But do I believe that it's the collective of them? No. Do I believe that's a lot of them? No. So my and do I believe men in general are helpful to women or are going to do anything for women? No. I've said multiple times on my platform, if somebody were to ask me, like, you know, put me like and say, hey, what's the percentage of men that you think like are actually good, decent men that are trustworthy in this world? I would say 25%. I believe 75% of men wholeheartedly cannot be trusted. 75-25 split. So I think the majority of men of all races are no good, if you want me to be completely honest. So yeah, so if you know me, maybe if you come back or whatever, you'll realize. And there are some women that believe even less. You see women in the comments talking about 8%, 5%. So
Yeah.
just know that when you hear them, most of the time it's just for entertainment or it's to prove them wrong. They may have come in the comments and said something, and then I want to debunk them or something like that. Because initially, this whole live was about black women being pick-me's. You know what I'm saying? And supporting this Pookie that Kate went viral with this story, and that there are so many black women that are still pick-me's. Black women want to act like it's not a lot of us that still behave like that, but it is that. And then black men came up, always deflecting and talking reckless in the comments. And that's how I even got to even adding them up at all. But anyway, you can go ahead, sis. I didn't want to cut you
You're
off.
fine. You're fine. But I got my own channel also, and I thought we were kind of on the same page, but we're not, and that's okay. Like, I don't do anything for entertainment because right now I'm paying attention to what's going on in the news and what's going on with our people and how they're about to come for us.
Yeah, I
So
think
right
that's
now I'm
ridiculous.
just
Yeah,
we talk
I
about
think
different
that's
stuff.
Yeah, I
Can I
think that's
say why it's
ridiculous. Hold on
important
just a
though?
second. I just wanted to say this before she gets off here. I just want to say that that's ridiculous. If you didn't care about entertainment, you wouldn't be on TikTok. TikTok is not a form of,
Okay.
of where you're going to make true change. You will make true change in your community on the ground. So you being in here, being alive in general, talking to complete strangers that are not connected in anywhere in the neighborhood or demographic where you live at, you know what I'm saying? I think a lot of times there are so many black people that want to shame black people for doing anything other than what they think they should be doing. And
Why are
no,
you
we're
being
not
so
on the same type of
combative?
time.
We're not,
I
but
don't
why are
rock
you
that.
trying to be so
Because
combative?
I'm
Just
being
because I'm
combative
telling you
because
that
no, I recognize the shade. You know what I'm saying? I'm not stupid. You came up here and you said in the comments like, "Oh, it's a distraction. Why are we talking about this?" You already came up here trying to be somebody's mama. You know what I'm saying? And you're a perfect example of what I said, that I give black women grace. Because if you were a black man and you would have did that, I would have tore you up and then dropped you. But I did not let you say what you had to say because you're a black woman. But you coming up here talking about, oh, I thought we were on the same type of time. I probably do way more work for black women than you have ever done. You know what I'm saying? But I don't have to come up here and act like I'm this over the top person above everybody else, and they have to talk about what I'm talking about 24/7. What they're going to do is what they're going to do. What exactly do you think that you're going to stop from happening that's happening right now currently? Nothing. Are you going to the Capitol right now and about to like do something? No? Okay, then what are we really talking about here? I just don't like the idea that it's so many black people that act like black people can't walk and chew gum at the same time. Like, oh, do you know what's happening? We can't go to eat today. We can't walk today. We can't talk today. We can't watch TV today. We can't do anything because the world is ending. Like get real. Like I'm not with that. And if you're on that type of time, that's fine. Like, you know what I'm saying? But go ahead. Like, and do that. And if you have a problem with me talking to anybody, you're more than welcome to go to your own platform and go talk to somebody and handle things the way you want to. But you're not gonna make me do what you want me to do because you feel like that's what I should be doing. You act like I'm up here being a pick me or something. Or up here like talking about, yes, black men, we need you. I didn't say anything like that. So please get out of here. Like, honestly. Like, and I think a lot of y'all be miserable in y'all real life, and y'all see anybody doing anything and y'all want them to be miserable too. And go, please be out. Please be out, go. And I look at my comments. I'ma block you so you don't ever have to worry about being out again. Matter of fact, let me block you right now. And then you don't have to worry about ever being around again. Bye-bye. See you. Like I said, it's funny that everybody wants this to be a safe space for black women, but not a safe space for me, who's a black woman too. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't make any type of sense. But like I said, like, and also, if I know this person, the person that was up here is already gone, but just like Miss Chrissy Baby said, I also allow black men up because I really truly do believe that it proves my point of a lot of things that I say. Just like how I was talking earlier about the fact that black men or black American people are looked down upon and people act like the problems in the black community are just here with black Americans, but it is everywhere. The same psychology and pathology of black men is present wherever they are, all over the world, all over the globe. There were men that came up here today that exposed themselves, that proved my point. And if I never let those men up to say anything, they never would have been able to prove my point. they would have never been able to prove Cha-Cha's point when she was talking about the men in her area, in her community, in her country. It never would have been able to be exposed because the best way for you to see something is to see it right in front of your face. Because I can talk about black men all day long and say, black men are this, black men are that, black men, black men, black men, black men. And nobody's really going to really deeply feel me or deeply understand what I'm saying unless they can see it for themselves. And every day that I do these lives, most of the time, I do it so that you can see for yourself what's going on. And it's really just that simple. And of course, it's for entertainment purposes as well, because people like to laugh. People like to see things that are going on. And I don't see anything wrong with black people, more specifically black women, getting some type of entertainment. Like, where are you at, sis? Are you in a dungeon with your phone, only focusing on what Trump is doing? Like, you sound crazy, respectfully. That's insane. It doesn't make any sense. Like, and you know, like I said, I don't want to, go into another black woman because yeah, I try not to do that. But I'm just going to say I feel disrespected by what you said. And that's the reason why I was defensive, because I didn't like what you said to me. I felt like it was disrespectful. And I felt like you were trying to diminish me and you were trying to degrade me, low key degrade me. And I refuse to let a black woman who I fight for every day degrade me and disrespect me. That's what you're not going to do. You're not going to disrespect me. You're not going to degrade me. You're not going to tell me that I live in delusion when I don't. You live in delusion. And that's just not what it's going to be. But I'm going to go ahead and block you because, like I said, you disrespected me and you still trying to play like you don't understand. And for people that do things like that to me, you just can't be in my space. So let me go ahead and block you. You have a great day. Bye-bye. You're blocked. All right, go ahead, Jersey.
Oh,
Go
can you
ahead,
hear
Jersey.
me?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, hi. One thing that I heard you just say, because I'm actually new to you, and I loved everything you just been talking about in general. And I hear your passion. I can't stand that. Oh, you're angry. That's always their first go-to with all of us. I don't care. We need to be loud, more louder at this point because just like you said, I'm sick of it. And one thing that really stuck out when you said is that the pick me's of the moms is what makes those type of men. And I realized I've dated every man I dated, every story behind their mother was chasing dick. Every story behind them was, oh, she had this man, this, and then I feel like that's why they grow up and they think it's okay to pass us around like that, like we're auction or we're Sunday's service and getting the little bread pieces and saying amen because they watch them search for love, which I get, but I think that concept is why they think they know we want it, they don't want to give it, but they see how we yearn it. They watched their mothers yearn with men that weren't good. I literally had an ex tell me, "Oh, my mom had two good men, and they were lame, of course, to her. But then she married the hood ones. Yeah, like so they're watching, and then they're growing up, and then they're just all that anger, and they're just spilling it and shooting it out on any of us, black women and black men. And I'm one of the women that I've declared. I'm 35 now. I declared I'm not having no kids by no black man. I've watched my family. All of them are single moms, whether married or not. They all have struggled. I have a niece and nephew. I've been there. My dad lives literally 2 minutes from my sister's house and has never came down to see us. That's my first example of a black man is that he lived in the same county, lived 2 minutes away from my sister's house, lived 5 minutes away from my aunt's house, and that man ain't never been in my life.
What were you done, Jersey? And I'm sorry
Yes.
to hear that. Okay,
Yes.
yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. And it's unfortunate because every time, I talk and have these conversations, there'll be black men that will come up and they will say that, it's not all black men, it's not all black men. But it's so funny that since I've been doing this work, well, not so funny, that every single black woman has a story to tell
Mm-hmm.
on how she's been victimized or hurt
Yep.
or harmed some way,
Mm-hmm.
by a black man, and myself included. So it's just like, I feel like it's a lot of gaslighting going on. It's a
Always.
lot of people trying to play in our faces. And
Mhm.
my thing is that like somebody was talking earlier about like single mothers and the raising of the children and stuff like that. People talk about single mothers and talk about like, oh well, look, they're raising these black men. And I
Mhm.
think I said this a million times, but why is it that these same single mothers are raising black women and black girls, but
And we
they're
come out
flourishing?
great.
Yeah, they're flourishing.
Not even that.
uh
You want even to prove your point. My mom died. My mom died when I was 14. So I had no parent, just my sister that was 12 years older than me. And I'm a nurse now. So how, normally from those type of stories you become a delinquent, you become sad, because that's a death of your mother. So how with me even having a death like that, I still was able to be better and become better. And these people are sitting here with parents right in their faces, or had a mom regardless or whatever, and then every excuse in the book is her.
yeah, I mean, I mean, I definitely agree. I think that something that the black community doesn't really want to realize or accept, I think, is that black men are indeed coddled and they are indeed protected and
Hmm.
uplifted in the black community.
I see it in my
And that,
family.
yes, and that has created a sense of, entitlement, a sense of laziness,
Yes.
and that is the
Whew.
reason why black women are willing, are their outcomes are better because they have no choice,
I
because
wonder
nobody
why
in
are
the
they
world
so,
is gonna
but
get them grace. You know what I'm
sorry.
saying?
But why are men so allergic to education? That's what I always wonder, where does that start at? Like, does it start in preteen? Does it start like, I remember school? I went to Catholic school, so of course it was more diverse due to, of course, money wise, where certain people can pay. But it's like I'm always wondering, when do they just start thinking in their head like, yeah, I'm just not doing this no more? Like
I
they.
mean, I think what happens with young black men, in my opinion, is I think that they go at a crossroads when they get to be maybe 10 or 11 or something like that,
Hmm.
of the whether what road they're going to choose. Are they going to choose the pookie route, or are they going to choose the respectable route? And unfortunately, I think a lot of men choose the not respectable route, and that leads them down the path of not valuing education and a whole host of other things. But I do believe that, even though black women and their acceptance of, like, men that are thugs or men that have bad behavior,
Hmm.
the desire and yearning for that was put into them, in my opinion, through entertainment, like
Oh,
in,
true.
in
Yes.
music and stuff like that, to where
Hmm.
black women have been brainwashed to associate masculinity with bad behavior and criminality
Yeah.
and all of these things. Um, I think that black women have, got to completely freeze out men that present like that. And
Hmm.
unfortunately, before
But
I saw
scary
this,
enough, some of them are hiding. I've dated men that were supposedly the corny, lame, ain't really dressed no, and he still was cheating or lying. So it's like there's no really, like, there's no answer to me, because I've tried the, oh, he's nice, he's quiet. Turned out he was a follower. Then I went and got the more boisterous man that seemed more, ego, more, out loud, and then he was abusive. Then I got a guy that they got a white man. I dated a white man thinking that was making a difference. He turned out to be a liar. So it's like there's no answer other than either just stop dating them. If you don't want to be hurt, in my eyes, stop dating them, because there's no
um,
promise. There's
like
no
like I
promise.
said, I said this earlier. In my opinion, I think that there's a 75-25 split in the availability of good, decent men. 75% bad, 25% good. It could even be 20%, depending on what location that you're at. So when you're a woman and you're looking for a partner, you're at a very huge disadvantage,
Hmm.
especially being a black woman, because our options are reduced due to
Yes.
anti-blackness. But I do appreciate the fact that you also mentioned dating a white T man also was caused some issues, because
Yes.
let some black women tell it. All they
Oh
got to
yeah,
do is
the
go to the white
unicorn
T
comes.
man,
Okay, the
and
unicorn
everything
comes
is
in the
gonna be all
pointy
right.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
nah.
you know, people think that I'm against black women dating out. I'm not. I
I'm not
think that
either. My
I
best
think
friend
we're just one
is
second.
doing great.
I think wherever black women can find love, you know, they can find love. Like wherever you can find it, you can find it. But I will say that something rubs me the wrong way about black women putting a group of men on a pedestal that have done as many things historically to us as white people. That just makes me feel gross inside.
Hmm.
I really feel disgusted by that. It's just like your ancestors did not die for you to be on here talking about the white man is your savior. Yuck.
Very
Like you
true.
need to do better.
Very true.
And that's just disgraceful. And there are so many other races of men that if you wanted to talk about, you could talk about, not just them. So
Hmm.
why are you talking about
Exactly.
them?
Yeah. Why is it always? I
You're
never hear about Indian
yeah.
men. I never hear about Asian men. I never hear no other type of men. Not even Caribbean men, really. Even though from what I'm hearing, they're not even no better than the American men. So
Yeah. Oh, and DT, I don't know why you feel personally attacked by my comments. You probably do because that's the type of time you're on. Like I said, I really, I respect your right to believe what you want to believe. You know what I'm saying? But you know what you said, and you definitely was on that type of buck broken Betty type of time because it's buck broken black women too out there, and y'all never like me because I don't get down with that. So whatever. Like I'm really I'm up to my limit on like arguing with black women today. Because the lady that was up there like really blew me. So I'm just gonna block you, DT. You have a great life. Bye bye. Um, anyway, you guys, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end this live. And because like once it stops being fun to me or people start getting on my nerves, I just like I'm gonna go ahead and get off. I do appreciate the lady that was just up there. I didn't drop her anything. She might have had to go or she might have got a phone call or something. But I just want y'all to know that I didn't drop her. I had no problem with the things she was saying. At all. I appreciate her perspective. I appreciate Cha Cha, Leilani, Mimi. I'm gonna let you guys say something again before I get out of here. Just to so if y'all had something else to say. Um, I'll start with Mimi, then Leilani, or no, I'll start with Mimi, then Cha Cha, and then Leilani. I have Leilani have the final word. Go ahead, Mimi. If you had something to say, sis. Oh, you said you're good. Okay. I appreciate you so much for coming up, Mimi. I really do. I appreciate you so much for coming up and talking to me today. All right, I'm gonna go over here to Cha Cha.
Thanks for having me, host. Great panel, and I'll see you again. Thank you.
Oh, no problem. I appreciate you so much for coming up, Cha Cha, and giving your perspective as well. Because, you know, sometimes if we're talking about something strictly for Black American people, I just want their perspective. But sometimes I do allow people from other spaces up because I do think it's good for us to hear other perspectives sometimes because we don't want it to be an echo chamber. Okay, go ahead, Leilani.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, I just saw somebody in the comments saying, "Oh, you know, Asian men do the same thing pretty much," and they always say stuff like that. I just want to point out that they always say stuff like that, when it's convenient, but with everything else, they compare themselves to women. At the end of the day, nobody is more violent than you all, and it's proven no matter where you go with the same type of behavior. And just because they're doing it, I don't know what y'all get out of that. It doesn't justify the poor behavior. It's something that y'all, it's like a gaslighting thing. Y'all not acknowledging it. Y'all just saying, oh, they're doing it, so it's okay. So they're putting y'all in jail at a rate that's incredibly high and pewing y'all down in the street, right? So that's okay too. They can just do whatever they want just because you're doing something that's not right. So that's all I wanted to say. Great live per usual. Will be continuing to watch your YouTube videos, and thanks for listening to our perspectives.
Oh, no problem, no problem. Leilani, you had a lot of good perspectives, a lot of things that I definitely agree with for real. So I totally appreciate you. And I just wanted to tell the person I think Veggie Ham in the comments, like when I block y'all and y'all come back and y'all say, "Oh, she's blocking people. She's blocking people for not agreeing." I just want you to know that that's the only comment that you'll make from that page too, because I block you immediately at that time. Because I don't. If I blocked you once, that means I'm done talking to you. And like, I'm not a person that goes backwards in life. Like, once I block you, that means I won't talk to you no more. And I never will. So once you come up on another one, I'm about to block that too. So just don't be weird. Don't be weird. You know, but I just wanted to say once again that this is a safe space for Black women. It really, really, really is. And, you know, I try, you know, of course I'm human. So sometimes if people say things I don't agree with, it may irritate me, annoy me, but I still try my best to listen and let everybody say what they want to say. Cause I don't agree with everything that everybody says. everything everybody said today, I don't want y'all to think I disagree with y'all because I did agree with y'all. I'm just saying that sometimes people say stuff that I don't agree with, but I still let them say it. I didn't agree with the stuff that Danava was saying that was up here. But it wasn't even that I disagree with her that made me, drop her and block her. It was the shade. It was a disrespect. Like, and I can read disrespect a mile away. So anyway, if you're a black woman and you're listening to this, I hope you have a great Saturday. I just want you to know that you are awesome. You are amazing. You are special. You are valuable. And don't let nobody tell you different. I know a lot of times in the world, people seek to put down black women and, have us not realize our power, but we really do have power. That's the reason why people want to cosplay as us, put us on as a costume. They watching our pages, trying to see everything that we do, trying to copy our mannerisms and our movements and the way we speak, because we are amazing. We are awesome. They may not really be willing to admit that, but it's the truth. There are plenty of people that have maintained a career and made millions of dollars off of stealing our intellectual property, stealing the essence of us. Really, truly. So I just want y'all to know that, like, for real, y'all are the bomb.com. And I will go to war behind black women every day of my life until I have no life in my body no more. I will always do it. And I will really try my best. And, I'm not above, making mistakes or being imperfect. I'm just a random lady on the internet. All right. But I would always try my best to respect y'all and to love on y'all and to make content that centers around black women, because y'all are really all I care about, to be honest. I care about my family, my nuclear family, my kids and my husband. But other than that, I really, really, really do care about black women and love y'all wholeheartedly with my whole soul. Really. But anyway, I'll see y'all later. I hope y'all have a great weekend and I hope y'all get everything that y'all want this weekend. And yeah, love y'all. I'll see y'all later.